2024. OLAYOMI KOIKI, Koikimedia Live, as we continue our quest to self-determination. What is self-determination? All that will be explained in this broadcast as we continue to ask President Bola Tinubu to negotiate with the Yoruba people so that we can exit Nigeria peacefully. Mo kí gbogbo wa nílé lóko níbi tí ẹ ti fi láǹfààní àti fi gbọ́ wa. Mo kí ọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà. I welcome you once again as we are just about to go straight into this program this afternoon. Share the program, invite your friends, and let us educate you once time as we do all the time. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Let's start with this.
Ìjọba wa tí ò sí ẹ̀tọ́ tó yẹ kó ṣe fún aráàlú tí wọ́n dìbò fún tó jẹ́ ìjọba lé lórí. Tíjọba bá wà tí ààbò bá sí fún aráàlú tó rú òsì ìjọba lé lórí, aráàlú ti di fúnra ẹ̀. ti fọwọ́ sí pé ìyá tí ń jẹ àwọn etí tó àwọn òfin fúlàní lórí ilẹ̀ bàbá wọn pẹ̀lú àti pàtó pé àwọn tí wọ́n ń pa iná làwọn ti lọ balẹ̀ lórí ti fi jòjì wà àwọn ọba gan ni wọ́n rìn pé ìpè ìyá tí ń jẹ àwọn etí tó àwọn tí wọ́n ń pa àwọn ọmọ àwọn tó ń pa iná tó ọ̀la àwọn náà làwọn ti jọba lé lórí òtítọ́ rẹ̀ kò sí àgbààgbà Yorùbá tí mo rò tó sí pé kò sí máa ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n náà ni ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n bàbá wa ni inú tí wọ́n náà dùn bí wọ́n ti ń pa wá bí Fúlàní ti ń jí wa gbé tó ń gbowó lọ́lá lọ́wọ́ nínú ọdún ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀rù ń bà wọ́n kọ́ bà wọ́n yẹ wọ́n nípò bí tí wọ́n wà ṣé wọ́n ní pé nígbà tí wọ́n ń jí àwọn aráàlú pẹ̀tẹ̀ pé tí wọ́n pa wọ́n tẹ́lẹ̀ kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ń bọ̀ ya wọ́n lọ jí ọmọ ọba àti kẹ́kẹ́ pé ọmọ ọba ti bẹ lórí ìgbẹ́kẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ wọ́n jí ọmọ bàbá kẹ́kẹ́ pé fúnra ẹ̀ tó kókó díẹ̀ bí wọ́n sì gba $4 million lọ́wọ́ bàbá wọn tó gbọ́ ọmọ bàbá fún bàbá àwọn Fúlàní torí pé bọ̀ bá yá àyè ti gbà wọn Fúlàní ìlú pé wọ́n wá gbé ẹgbà fún ẹ̀ náà àfi wọ́n ní kọlọ kí wọ́n lọ dáwùjọ àwa Yorùbá ti sùn a ti dákẹ́ a ti sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn bàbá wa lè dákẹ́.
a bá gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wà ní ilé epo after Abúlé Ẹ̀gbá a bá yín kẹ́dùn. We hope that the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu will move swiftly and protect the Yoruba people and their businesses that have been destroyed by the Fulani terrorists. And we hope this will also serve as lesson fún àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá tí à ń polongo fún pé kó bá wa sọ fún President Bola Ahmed Tinubu we are not fighting. All we just want is our right to self-determination, and that's all. We don't even have anything to fight anyway. Ọmọ Yorùbá ò dẹ̀ ń jà, ọmọlúwàbí ni wá. So gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá mọ President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, please tell him that the Yoruba people, we want to negotiate. He has the opportunity to allow us to go if truly he wants to do so. But as we know, he's not operating a Yoruba country. He's operating a manifesto under the APC. But it is possible that we can negotiate and we can fine-tune and find a solution that will allow and enable our Iromo Yoruba to have our own country. We have the numbers. We are over 60 million or 45 million according to the Nigerian data. Regardless of the number, it is more than enough to have a country. Latvia, Bashisolaro, is 1.8 million. Latvia is a country that operates with a population of less than 2 million. Their landmark might not as big as Alimosho local government that is 3 million. But they are doing very well. Wàhálà ti pọ̀ jù. Wàhálà lẹ́ni, wàhálà lọ́la. Wàhálà ni àwọn bàbá wa ti wà nínú ẹ̀, àwọn ìyá wa ti wà nínú ẹ̀ for the last 63 years. Tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé àwa tẹ̀ wà ní Western region. A tẹ̀ mọ̀ pé a wà nínú Western region. Tí a máa lè control resources wa. Tá a máa lè stop who can come into our territory and who would not be allowed to come into our territory. But lẹ́ni, irú wa ògiri wa, àwa tá wà lábroad gan, a ṣe wá mọ meaning immigration. Immigration ò ń ṣe tí yàn fi ṣeré, but unfortunately, the system in Nigeria has given room to all sorts. Mo kí mọ̀mísí mi dáadáa, happy weekend, Adẹ́kù ti Okoyin, which is my dad, that died 42 years ago, yesterday, 3rd of May, where we remembered him in prayer, and many people around the world were able to celebrate with you, and likewise the rest of the Koiki family around the world. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn Koiki tó ń bẹ ní Benin Republic, Níjẹ̀bú-Òde, ní Lagos State, wherever they are. I am just playing my own part. I've slept. I just had my meal, and I thought, kí la tún fi máa ṣe? I was listening to Baba Role 1010. I think Lady K is live. The more that we go live, the more that we can continue the campaign, so that some people might be already getting tired. Intent Europe is a lasting solution to the problem. Tí ó fi di pé ní ilé epo àwọn ìyá wa tó ń tajà, àwọn bàbá wa tó ń tajà, tí kò sí access sí loan, tó jẹ́ pé owó gbọ́múlé lantern lọ fi operate. Kátẹ́ agree pé ọmọ Haúsá jẹ 16,000 naira. Bí ọmọ Yorùbá fẹ́ cheated, we know we are fraudsters, we know that. Ẹ máa káwa náà ká dispute pé àkínṣolè olè wà láàrin ọmọ Yorùbá náà. Hush Puppy was a criminal that we were all glorifying. Ìwọ náà fẹ́ dàbí Hush Puppy, kó máa jẹ turkey, kó máa travel around the world. Hello. Kí ló dé pẹ́? Okay. Ẹ kú àtàárọ̀. Àwa ti wà lórí ètò. Kí ló dé wá pẹ́? Okay, look. Ẹ kú àtàárọ̀. The children are just coming back. I've missed them. Mo ṣe dùn pé kí ló pẹ́. Àwọn oníwàhálà. On a serious note, ṣé mọ̀ pé ní tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ilé epo yẹn should not happen if we have a system that is working. Look, crime tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ní UK were really projected sí ìta, because the UK government does not want people to know the amount of crime tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nínú bíbá. Kọ́lọ̀ foríjì Daniel Anjorin that was stabbed to death some few days ago. But kò ń ṣe òun nìkan ló ni wọ́n pa nílùú yìí. Many things are happening. But the UK controls the immigration for a purpose. Ó ní ìdí tó ṣe ń control. Ṣẹ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ tẹ́ ń wò wá nílé. I am not special than you. Opportunity táwa ní la ṣe look like we are looking very good. We have our own problem that we are dealing with internally on a daily basis. Tí kò ṣe máa sọ síta. I sent one video to your studio line. Ẹ kò flash mi lórí ẹ̀ kí n kò fi rí, because there are thousands of messages, and maybe kẹ́ kò flash me. Ẹ̀yin náà lẹ́ ń sọ lórí ètò pé náà àwọn kankan tẹ́ fẹ́ fi ránṣẹ́ sí mi náà, ìyá mi. So àwa tá wà níta tá à ń gbé labroad, ẹ má rí wa as a special being pé Ọlọ́run dá wa jù ẹ̀yin lọ. Wallahi, ẹ better off jù àwa gan lọ if the system was working. My parents or my mom, most of our parents wọ́n fi gbé nílùú yìí, but condition ló jẹ́ kí a gbé labroad. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní tó bá dé stage kan olúkálukú máa wá means láti survive in life. So I feel the pain of àwọn parents wa tí wọ́n tajà tí wọ́n dẹ̀ bà ọjà wọn jẹ́ látara pé wọ́n níyàn kan jẹ́ 16,000 naira and a whole market was burnt down. Odindi ọjà tó ń serve community kan wọ́n dẹ̀ jó gbogbo ẹ̀, wọ́n dẹ̀ bà nǹkan jẹ́. But lára àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ nínú àwọn videos yẹn, àwọn people tí ń gbé pẹ̀lú wọn, they are living within the society with them. Wọ́n mọ̀ wọ́n pé terrorist ni wọ́n, but kò síjọba tó fẹ́ support wọn. Kò síjọba tó fẹ́ support wọn. And that means that Do we or are we ever going to have a government that have sympathy fún aráàlú ẹ̀? I am talking about our governors. And all these, okay, Fulani devils intercepted in Edo State. Okay, ṣé fídíò tẹ́lẹ̀ fi ránṣẹ́ nìyẹn? A pé fídíò yóò ń ṣe new video, eléyìí ti pẹ́. Fídíò yìí ti pẹ́, kò ń ṣe fídíò tuntun. Fídíò tó ti pẹ́ ni. I don't like us recycling old videos. Okay, yìí tẹ́ ń béèrè pé níbo lẹ máa san central account sí. It's just an mo bọ̀. Ẹ kàn lọ sí www.ysdm.org. It's very straightforward. That is how you can make those donations. I am pleading. Kódà tó bá jẹ́ nu owó tẹ́ fi fún Koikimedia, ẹ yọ́nú ẹ̀. It is important that we raise money because àwọn olówó wa ò ní fún wa lówó. Don't expect Afe Babalola to invest in Yoruba Nation project. Don't expect Otedola, kódà Dele Momodu ò ní invest nínú ẹ̀. He hardly even promote us, not to talk about. I know he's with us directly, indirectly. So, mo bẹ̀ wá, àwọn neighbor mi ṣe wọlé. Mo ní wá sọ pé ti neighbor mi nìkan, àwọn ọmọ mi náà ṣe wọlé pẹ̀lú McDonald's. Neighbor mi náà gbé McDonald's wọlé. I'm sure some of you as well, you do the same thing. It might be a food that is not, but we eat it all the time. $5, ẹ jẹ́ ká fi sínú central account. Kò ní account number, ẹ kàn lọ sórí ysdm.org. I'll continue to put it on my status as much as I can remember. I've done that now on the studio number. Ẹ gbọ́ wọlé. Ẹ lè ṣe one-off payment kẹ́ sọ pé maybe in another 3 months because bùkátà pọ̀ fún wa. Ẹ jẹ́ ká play anthem wa ká tó tẹ̀síwájú. Mo kí bàbá Kítóyè. Mo kí dáadáa bàbá. I wish that there's many of you bí àwọn bàbá yẹn tó lè máa encourage irú àwa ọ̀dọ́ báyìí because tá bá wo age bàbá Kítóyè at 89 pẹ̀lú age tèmi 40 plus. Àwọn bàbá yẹn kàn wo future pé yẹ kí nǹkan rí báyìí. There is a vast amount of opportunity tá bá dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè but understanding àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ni pé ǹjẹ́ kò ń ṣe the same set of people bí àwọn Fáyẹmí, àwọn Fáyọ̀ṣe, àwọn Bọ̀dé George, àwọn ni wọ́n máa ṣe ìjọba tá bá débi tá à ń lọ. And I always say that it's not going to be. Ó dàbí ìgbà tí èèyàn fẹ́ start afresh, òun ni nǹkan tá à ń pè fún. And the opportunity will be there. And tó bá wá fẹ́ travel lọ sí abroad, you can travel outside or you can remain inside Nigeria. Atẹ́gùn yẹn ń fẹ́ díẹ̀díẹ̀, but it's okay, it's not that bad. Lè ní kọ́ bá mi gbé jacket mi. So ẹ má rí àwa tá wà labroad gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwa tí a dájọ́ yín tẹ́ wà ń lé lọ. Iṣẹ́ tẹ̀yin náà ń ṣe làwa kọ̀ọ̀kan náà ń ṣe ní bíbá tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń sanwó fún wa. Owó yẹn la fi ń rán ní ìta ṣe ń gbé nílùú yìí. Tó yẹ pé Nàìjíríà náà jẹ́ system tó ń ṣiṣẹ́, owó tẹ̀yin náà bá ń gbà náà lẹ́yìn náà based on the economy of ìlú kọ̀ọ̀kan. But for a very long time the Nigerian economy was never designed to work. Ẹ jẹ́ ká play anthem so that ká má go too far ká tó play anthem. Mo kí gbogbo wa pé a káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Ìgbàgbọ́ àti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọ̀wọ́ ṣàkànràdé ìkẹjẹdá tẹ̀síwájú ọ̀pọ̀ ire àtòhun ọ̀nà òdì àsìkò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀ ìwọlé ìmọ̀lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Kọ́lọ́n bá wa foríjì Daniel that was stabbed in UK, London precisely a few days ago. It's a terrible death. And the man on Facebook, I've just put the RIP Daniel that was used at the ASNAP program today. I'm a one way to know dear. But mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí àjọ ń ṣe ní ọ̀sán yìí àtẹ̀yìn tí àjọ ń ṣe ní gbogbo ìgbà. Those of you in Nigeria, it costs you a lot of money to watch and listen to us. Our tower abroad now is not cheap. It costs us to have internet. But before I go into that, somebody sent me something on WhatsApp. Let me share my program onto my status. About
This is Abuja. Lokuta Road with over 5.
I know Daniel was from Nigeria based on that name. I don't know how they're feeling right now because I'm not in their shoe. It's a terrible situation. A very good afternoon to you all as you're joining. Many Nigerians expect and hope that there is still going to be a future in Nigeria. I am not one of those, and I hope you are not as well. Let me give you this figure. Kelly, the manipulation of how the Western media. You're right. Nigeria is a mirage, Mr. David Ademola. Don't come on this show and talk nonsense. I will call you out and I'll curse you. Because it takes a lot of time for us to burn this time for one person. I mean, a governor owns some school from the government coffer. School town I'm talking about Yaya Bello. And that does not boil you. But our town is a Yoruba nation. Our ni a man favor attack. I don't know why. Àmọ́ kí la ṣe fún yín. Àmọ́ ìṣẹ́ tá ṣe látara pé à ń pèpè fún kí àǹfààní lè wà táwa náà ń gbádùn labroad kẹ́yìn náà lè gbádùn ẹ̀. So that ká má máa wọ owó ara wa jẹun. We did a program this morning that took us 4 hours 30 minutes. Èmi gan mọ bí tó kù sí lára mi. Ìgbà tí mo ṣe tán, mo láti lọ sùn. Ìgbà tí mo jí mo jẹun. Kí n tó tún ní strength láti tún fi jáde báyìí. I talked about all kind of benefits to UK system to fi support àwọn èèyàn. Kudos to the UK system that is helping a lot of us. Let's follow this conversation. The British government mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin mothers mi, ẹ̀yin aunties mi, ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tẹ̀ ń jókòó tẹ̀ ń gbọ́ Koikimedia látara pé my own education and lecture is different from others because I like to work with numbers and statistics because in tó lè jíjà àwọn èèyàn pé ṣé ọ̀rọ̀ tí Koiki ń sọ ṣó make sense because tí wọn náà bá gbé yẹ̀wò èèyàn mélòó ló mọ Alimosho local government? You might not have been there before, but how many people know Alimosho local government? Èèyàn mélòó ló mọ Alimosho local government? Just say yes or no. I'm just trying to look at the comments to see if people are responding. Just one person. Peter Pan. For answering because Tabanshi program Taban Beri Tebadasi, it's not encouraging for us. Justice for Mercy said yes. All right, few people, just 1 or 2, 3 people. So maybe a lot of people don't know Alimosho local government. In your mail only come Alimosho local government. Okay, some don't know. Abami Yola they don't know more Alimosho local government. Sharing platform is to educate each other. I get educated by you just like you educate me as well. Based on the baso, Lawano Manlo at Google at research. So one person doesn't know Alimosho local government. There's nothing wrong in that. But at least some few numbers of people know Alimosho local government. So let's first find out Nibogongoni Alimosho local government what? And why am I bringing Alimosho local government? So I'm just going to do, Google search, Alimosho, so that I have a clear understanding. Okay, Mr. Deyemini, I live in Ikotwegwe. Okay. All right. According to Google, I typed in Alimosho and it's spelled Alimosho. I will spell it in the UK format. Alpha Lima India Mike Oscar Sarah Hotel Oscar. Alimosho is a local government area in Lagos State. So, Inu Lagos Lowa is a local government embedded in Lagos State. But there's something very unique about it. Mr. Demola Olagbeji Sokwe, it is the largest local government in Lagos State. I want you to follow that conversation. I don't want us to lose plot and lose track. If you're not clear, tiba sort of too fast. Don't you go about po any can so Yoruba, e ma binu si Yoruba temi, o le ma sharp bi tawon to ku. Ohun èmi náà pé kèmi náà máa lè pèdè kí lè máa sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ bí àwọn tó kù, but I have just not been able to because my Yoruba is not that very good. But at least my English is trying its best to communicate. So Alimosho wà nínú Lagos State. It is the largest local government in the whole of Lagos State. Tó bá ń dìbò lẹ́ni ní Nigeria ní Lagos State, it is important that Alimosho must be captured by the current APC. Wọ́n ní fẹ́ jẹ́ kí PDP gbà mọ́ ọ lọ. Tó bá máa rí gẹ̀ ni wọ́n máa jalè ni wọ́n máa fọ́ gbogbo local government yẹn ni wọ́n máa destroy ballot. It must not be won by opposition. It has to be remain under APC. But ǹjẹ́ yìí mọ̀ pé according to the census of 2019, Ademan BC and Resi, but àwọn èèyàn náà máa ń kú. But we know that the number of deaths could be the number of births. I'm sure we agree with that. Pé àwọn èèyàn tó bá ń bí ó ń pọ̀ sí ó ń pọ̀ ju àwọn tó ń kú lọ. But in 2019, which we're going to work with, according to the 2006 census, whether that census is perfect or not is not the case. Wonosumo Agege Yanapaja, you're right. Alimosho has a population of 3 million. 3 million people. That makes it the largest torí numbers of people tó ń gbé níbẹ̀. Ǹjẹ́ yìí wá mọ̀ pé Alimosho could be a country of its own? How many people knows that? Pé bá Alimosho ṣe wà yẹn ní that vicinity gbogbo ibi tó bá ń pè ní Alimosho. Ǹjẹ́ yìí mọ̀ pé mo kí bàbá mi Sulaimon, bàbá yẹn nífẹ̀ẹ́ mi débi pé lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí màmá wọn kú nìkan lọ change DP wọn lọ lo picture màmá wọn. After that he took it back to my picture with him, and I cannot love him less. For 3 years wọ́n change DP wọn, picture him àti wọn mo kúkú mọ̀ wọ́n rí tẹ́lẹ̀. Ìrìn àjò yìí náà ló jẹ́ ká mọ̀ púpọ̀ nu ara wa, kọ́lọ̀ má jẹ́ àtẹ́. Ṣé rí amọ̀pá àwọn kan sọ pé Koiki Nàìjíríà ṣe lè work, ó kàn jẹ́ pé bí nǹkan ṣe ń ṣe ló ní kò jẹ́ kó work. But ẹ jẹ́ ká yọ Alimosho kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà. Ǹjẹ́ ẹ mọ̀ pé Alimosho lè dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí country? How many people know that? Pé Alimosho, with a population of 3 million, according to the census, the largest population of about 3.82,900. I want to see what more I can get from Alimosho under the Wikipedia. Alimosho is a local government area in Lagos State, Nigeria, with the largest population of about 3,082,900, which is according to the population 2019. The 2006 census says the population was 1.2 million, but the Lagos State government urged that the population as at 2006 with the local government was more than 2 million residents. It has now been subdivided into several community development areas, don't pay the LCD. The LCDA restructuring kicked off after the administration of Bola Ilori, who was the last chairman of the old single Alimosho local government. The 6 subdivisions created out of the old Alimosho are Agbado Oke Odo LCD, Ayobo Ipaja LCD, Alimosho local government, Egbeda Idimu LCD, Ikotun Igado LCD, Moson Okwonla LCD. The local government contains the urban area of Egbeda Akowonjo. The Alimosho was established in 1945 and it was under the then Western region. How did we get here and how can we pull out? President Bola Tinubu, ẹ jẹ́ ká negotiate, ká pull out, kí ayé àwọn èèyàn lè rọrùn. I've not finished yet. Alimosho was established in 1945. Kò tí sí Nigeria as a kò tí sí independence in 1945. We were still under the regional government, or the Western region as it's known. Alimosho population is predominantly Egbados. The area is rich in culture, prominent amongst which are the Oro, Igunu, and Egungun annual festival. The two main religions are Islam and Christianity. Yoruba language is widely spoken in the community. The first secretariat of Alimosho is a 2-story building located on Council Street, now in Egbeda Idimu LCD. It is said that the local government is the noisiest in Lagos State. Do you now know that the population of Alimosho is not up to the population of Latvia? The population of Latvia, like I explained this morning, is 1.8 million. Latvia, spelled Latvia. The population of Latvia, a country in Europe. Latvia is a country on the Baltic Sea between Lithuania and Estonia. The population is 1,879,000 according to the World Bank in 2022. So who says that Yoruba only Daduro Gegebe country? Who is giving us that narrative where we can only succeed if we are in one block, don't play Nigeria. If Latvia 1.879 billion, Alimosho is more than that. Abibeko. Kini Latvia wa ṣe tọ́ni tí Alimosho lè dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí country. You can see why we are taking backwards rather than moving forward. The 60 angel, good afternoon, my auntie. Rather than become a move forward, Mukiya Motu Adeyemi, Mukiya Mikemi Bello, and the rest of you, I also say good afternoon. Why then are we forcing ourselves in a system that we do not benefit anything from? Mukiya Joseph, OLAYOMI Balola. Why then must we force ourselves into a system that we are not benefiting anything from? That's just on the side. Now, I wanted to read something from here. How much do you think that the BBC spend annually, or the British government rather, on what is called the BBC World Service? And these target 96 million people in Africa. BBC, British government is not. Let's just work with numbers. Just play with numbers for me. But let's start with anything above 100 million euro. The British government is spending X amount of money to target 96 million people in Africa. Bishop Adesina says, and I quote, if Lagos give off Alimosho local government to Yoruba nation, in 2 years the entire Lagos and Nigeria will desire to relocate to Alimosho. And I totally agree. Not to waste our time, the British government spent 600 million pounds annually on the BBC World Service, the BBC International Advertising Branch. And every week, this World Service reached 96 million people in Africa, the channel's largest audience. What are they discussing on that channel? Why spend this huge amount of money? You can see the power of media and how things can be used to distort the truth that I am now working against BBC World Service in Africa, mostly Nigeria, because most Nigerians listen to BBC World Service. Because number one, Onyebolo Masoro. Number two, people believe the authenticity of the BBC World Service than what we are discussing here today, because as far as we are concerned, we are just nuisance trying to create nonsense. I saw Reno saying that why do we call Nigeria a zoo and all kind of things. He posted something on his timeline. Now ask yourself, why would the British government spend 600 million euros every year to inform African people about what? What are they informing us about? Kini Kotonso, shout out to all the Koikimedia team. As Carter G. Woodson said, if you can control a man's thinking, the more Taban control thinking in you, you don't have to worry about his action. That is why Omo Yoruba, understandably, Latvia tí kò tó 2 million is a country where the citizens are working on a daily basis. And from the program we did in the morning, we realized and we found out that Nigeria was also buying wheat from Latvia to the tune of $530 million US. And we have vast amount of land across every part of the 36 states of Nigeria, where we can also grow the wheat and export it, but rather we import the wheat because nobody will be given opportunity for agriculture to grow in Yoruba land. Latvia generates 5.6% of their revenue from agriculture. I understand that some of you are so adamant. Mokiawa Lisbeth. If you don't share the program, it will not reach more audience. If Latvia, that is not up to 2 million, and they are able to supply not just to Nigeria, because I saw that Saudi Arabia also buy wheat from them, but let's just stick it to Nigeria. Nigeria is now buying produce worth 530 million US dollars from Latvia. Wani Raufa Regbeshola is from Alimosho. I know because he played a lot of politics in that area. Atiola Maruf Amos, welcome sir. Those who are joining Nigeria together, they are doing a bigger mistake because they are the one who created this problem to Nigeria. Yoruba have their own decision before they came to us, meaning before they colonized us. The Yoruba know how we can control our government before the white came to us. My suggestion that to separate our own region, that is Yoruba nation, is the solution to our country. And I totally agree with you, sir. Many people think that coming out of Nigeria must be consulted with Dangote, Okoya, and the rest of our elite. Àwọn ló gbọ́dọ̀ fún wa ní decision pé Nigeria máa pín. But these individuals have their right, but their right does not override the right of the indigenous people that owns the territory, which is the Yoruba people. That would not stop the Dangote project operating in Lagos State. It would just be paid tax to Yoruba government. But the project Nigeria, as it is known, is a project that has consumed lives and distorted history. So when Nigerians are saying, we will fix Nigeria, we will bring in the caliber of people that can come and fix Nigeria, it is because BBC World Service is saying that to you through their medium, which is exactly what the former British High Commissioner to Nigeria, Katrina Lang, told us to get our PVC and vote who we want, and anyone that disturbs the electoral process will not be allowed to come to UK. Most politicians don't even want to come to UK because they are becoming skeptical about UK system after AK Kirimado has now been jailed, so they don't want to have anything to do with UK, because it is the same UK that gives them the privilege to bring out the wealth out of Nigeria and dump them across all their different islands. I received an email like I do from a particular website that I follow as a journalist, known as Investigative. I hope I didn't delete it. Let's have a look. Trash. A very good afternoon and welcome. If you're new to the platform, I don't talk about anything more than the dissolution of Nigeria. But I always say, if you want to come and argue with us that Nigeria is going to work, you can always call in. Yeah. There's a particular organization that I follow as a journalist, and they are known as International Consortium of Investigative Journalists. And they've uncovered many stories of our criminal politicians, like Kiloruko Boy, Bagudu, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, the current Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, I am not making this up, was one of those that was moving huge amount of money when Abacha was alive. Do you know that the same man is now the Minister of Budget and Economic Planning? Abubakar Atiku Bagudu is only 62 years old. He was born a year after the Nigerian independence. But because the structure, the Nigeria was structured, especially from the north, that the British gave the power to, created all this. And if we go back to his background, I am very sure that he's not even an Hausa, but a pure Fulani man. But he's so powerful that Nigba Obasanjo, he negotiated his way out with some of the stolen wealth. And he's still part of the government today. And these are the same set of people that are just waiting for Tinubu to complete his tenure, because he's only 62 years old. There is still good amount of opportunity for him to also be the president of Nigeria. Even though they've been part of those that created the reason why Tiran Yoruba Shiwa Nipitowa, plus the Yorubas and other people within what is known as Nigeria today. Abubakar Atiku Bagudu is a criminal, but still operating in Nigeria because we have given him that opportunity to do so. So people like the investigative consortium of International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, the last message I got from them yesterday says, World Press Freedom Day is upon us. The way out of Nigeria is for us to break away, and that's all. Nothing more than that. Any other way out is not going to work. Let everybody go and take care of their own. These days serve as a reminder that the press freedom is not just a privilege, but a fundamental necessity in upholding democracy, promoting transparency, and safeguarding human rights, which is what we are doing. 71% of people live in countries classified as autocrats, a sharp increase from just a decade ago. This alarming trend underscores the urgent need to support free and independent journalism. Support free. So when we say support, they're like, hey, I'm going to support you. But you expect BBC World Service to give you the authentic news, knowing fully well that BBC World Service is one of the most biased corporations that you can ever think of. And if you are hoping that one day BBC World Service will give you what you want, you are living in denial. Peter Pan say our ancestors trusted Britain too much, and you're right. After Britain, during the period of the time that they were living with us in the 15th, 16th, 17th century, we gave them so much information. We revealed too much to them that was used against us. Our forefathers trusted them. Here at the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, Hundreds of journalists across the globe are working tirelessly to uncover stories that shed light on corruption, abuses of power, and grave harms inflicted on the world's most vulnerable people, including me and you. The job that I am doing, just like any other job, is risky. And we appreciate those of you that appreciate it. Yami beauty Amokweni, Yorubas are just too accommodating. That is why Ile-Epo, just after Abule Egba, was destroyed by terrorists. Our mothers lost millions of naira in what was just meant to be, in your just 16,000 naira, or just 16,000 naira. I mean, how did a 16,000 naira end up to be where millions, I don't want to use the word billion, of naira worth of goods were destroyed? Who do we then hold accountable? Julia Tosin says there's a difference between forefathers and ancestors. So our ancestors know nothing about this. It was our forefathers. Thank you so much for the correction. So our forefathers played in the hands of the evil British Empire. Sometimes I'm sure some of you will be like, but Koiki, it is an evil empire. Dara Poli, Brooklyn, thank you so much. Oluwatola Adebanjo says, and I quote, Nigeria can walk again. Really? Wow. Can you explain further, sir, how Nigeria will be able to walk again? Because we know that Fayemi told us a few days ago that Nigeria is crawling. So how is Nigeria going to work again, sir? And if I may ask, how old are you, sir? It's just a question. If you say that Nigeria can work again, I am not here to argue with you. I am just asking, how old are you, and when are we likely to get to that stage that Nigeria will work again, so that I can probably tell our people that Nigeria will work again? Because Fayemi told us one day ago, Fayemi and Sani others agreed that Nigeria is crawling, but they want consensus on key issues. My question is, are we ever going to be given those consensus? And what are the consensus? The first one is the 1999 Constitution. It has taken them 30 years. We've had that video played by many of the senior advocates of Nigeria that if it's taking us 30 years just to resolve the Constitution, Mombile and Konsi Babami Oluwatola Adebanjo, how and when is Nigeria going to work again? No, Emma can't do anybody. He has his right. Don't let chase anybody out of the broadcast. It's just let us ask questions. Because maybe we are in too much in a hurry. That is why people say Nigeria will still work again. Maybe worrying or boya, they are just saying that it's just that the system. And when we keep using the word the system, it is deliberately that system work. That is why British literally hand over Nigeria to the northern part of Nigeria. Britain handed over Nigeria to them, not to us, not to every one of us. While they were having discussion with us as we were preparing to get independence out of Nigeria or out of their own system, they were having conversation behind closed door. They were also having conversation with the northerners. The first censor was rigged by Britain. Mr. Bengadeshino said the present politicians has already reached the peak of their recycling. But they don't want to go, sir. That's the problem. Fayemi and others are already preparing for a new Nigeria. And that is why they have these. If this giant must work again, a manifesto for a new Nigeria. We talked about this in our program yesterday. We are saying Nigeria is not going to work, but some believe that Nigeria is going to work. Tosin Oloyede say believing Nigeria can work is just a pure illusion. Kí ni àwọn dádì yẹn rí tó fi sọ pé Nigeria can work again tí àwa ò rí? Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbé yẹ̀wò. Bóyá àwa wà in too much hurry. Bóyá torí àwa ti rí nǹkan kan táwọn náà dẹ̀ ń rí pé Koiki ó sì máa work. It's just that the system that its present day only kò fi jẹ́ kó work, because like Daddy was on Mr. Gbenga Adesina said, the present politician has already reached their peak, but they are not ready to go yet. Tinubu sọ pé èmi ló kàn. Ó ní ẹgbẹ́ kìíní wá, èmi ló kàn. And truly, òun ló kàn, because the negotiation was that when Buhari completes his tenure, Tinubu should be the next president. Is that how we want to recycle? What is the next deal that Tinubu has done with the Northerners? Even though Tinubu bargained with them with the Yoruba Nation conversation. Ṣé tí ń rí pé àwọn kan ti ń pariwo Yoruba Nation? Ṣé rí Sunday Igboho yẹn àti bàbá yẹn tó bá tú àwọn ọmọ yẹn sílẹ̀ wá bọ́ sójú títì o? Ẹgbẹ́ kìíní ìwà èmi ló kàn. But we know that he has sacrificed through spiritual and physical. A mọ̀ pé kò ń ṣojú lásán ni Tinubu fi débẹ̀. But ohun Ọlọ́run ló jẹ́ kó débẹ̀. But my question now is, would Tinubu allow us to just sit together and negotiate and see the way forward for the Yoruba people? Can he do that? Kókò negotiate, kákò jọ jókòó kájọ negotiate. Mọ́mí mi kan pè mí láti America before I came on air. Dr. Wumi, some of you have seen his video in the past. Tẹ́ bá lọ sọ́dọ̀ Araba TV. What produced video kan mọ̀ mọ́bí tá Araba ti PK. And he has said it so many times. She says she could have died. But the reason why she's alive is because there's a lot of medical support from the American government. That is why she's still alive today. She's 65. She studied up to 40 years. But she stopped. If she comes to Nigeria, she will die within the next 1 week, because Nigeria doesn't have the facility to look after her medically. Favor Crown say, that is the word, a new Nigeria, and it will be divided into 4. Yoruba Nation, Biafra Nation, Arewa Nation, and the Middle Belt. And let everybody go their separate ways. But some people are saying that that cannot work, because the system needs me to go and talk to Babangida. Wọ́n fẹ́ ká lọ bá Babangida sọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n fẹ́ ká bá Ọbásanjọ́ discuss, because people believe that yes, truly and truly, they are very powerful people in the society, but they are not as powerful as the masses. Number one, Babangida can control things. I will not be surprised that Babangida is not behind those preparing for a coup in Nigeria to take out Tinubu. He has what it takes. He has the connection. These are military that knows what is happening within the military system. Mr. Gbenga Adesina says, ask every politician in Nigeria the reason they steal Nigeria wealth to foreign nations is because the new Nigeria can die anytime. And you are quite right, because one of them is known as not Atiku Abubakar, Bagudu Atiku. And I'm reading now from the justice.gov, the US government or Office of the Public Affairs, US Department of Justice. And when you consider without evidence, they have the resources more than Koikimedia. They knew and they know that Abacha was moving money, but he was using proxies like Atiku Bagudu, the current Minister of Budget and Planning. And let me read how the US put it in their website, known as Office of Public Affairs. You can check it out yourself. The US repatriates over $311.7 million in assets to the Nigerian people that were stolen by the former Nigerian dictator and his associate. Monday the 4th, which is almost 4 years ago now. Wow, interesting coincidence. Monday, May 4, 2020. But it is reversed. We are now Saturday, 4th, 2024. The Department of Justice announced today that it has transferred $311 million, $797,876.11 to the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in accordance with the February 3rd, 2020 trilateral agreement among the government of the United States, Nigeria, Billwick of Jersey, to repatriate assets the United States fortified that were traceable to the kleptocracy of the former Nigerian dictator Sani Abacha and his co-conspirator. One of them is Abubakar. Moki Yamidada Comfort Ologunja. Welcome to the program. Peter Pan says, and I quote, people who say Nigeria can walk again ask Nigeria walked before with a question mark. Pythagoras_autos. Yawa Binkba Woneye and many of you that are joining us. It's a live transmission. Would President Bola Tinubu negotiate with the Biafra and the Yoruba and the Ijaws that are now saying that the unity of Nigeria can be negotiated without a bloodshed? It is possible that he can do it, but does he have the capacity and the zeal to do it? Mukiyami Folashade Ojoeba Banki Grandma Ninole Banki Olami Muki Mukiyan Sheffield Hall and every part of European country, Asia, and mostly those of you watching me from Nigeria, and all the DSS that are plugged in on the 36 states. I know you have your members watching me. I am not coming to Nigeria anytime soon, because according to the investigative journalists, I'm going to come back to the US territory, many journalists have been massacred and killed. I will not be killed and I will not be found by you to be kidnapped back to Nigeria. But one thing I can assure you is that there will not be anything known as DSS and EFCC very soon. How soon is what I don't know, because all that structure will collapse within Yoruba territory. I can assure you that. That I can assure you. But when it's going to happen is what I don't know. But I can assure you that. How soon, I don't know. But if anybody thinks that, oh, shut up, there will be DSS, they'll catch you. No, by the time that we are truly ready, those DSS will not operate within our territory. We will fight our way out. But for now, we are still negotiating, and we cannot put two things on the table simultaneously. But I pray that we save money enough to prepare for the future. Please donate to YSDM. It is very, very important. Even if, I use the word if, you will remove part of what you want to give me and put in there. There is no account details. You just go straight to the website, ysdm.org, and put those donations there. It is very, very important. Yami Kemibilo said, Nigeria can never work. It's not a country where it's going to work. Let's go back to the office of the United States telling us about money that was returned. Wow, finally, I can confirm that Labour won the mayor election. No killing. I was told that there was some skimsy fighting in the southeast, but nothing much. Sadiq Khan has finally won third term as the mayor of London. In case you are just wondering who won the election. Thank you so much. I was upset because some of the audio is sent to me, and I can understand his own argument as well. It's not easy when people go to farm, Tolon Shoko, Tifula Niwaje, and we are meant to have governors to protect us, and they're telling us go back to farm. Let's move forward. We know that Abacha stole so much money, but he was using many proxies. One of them was Atiku Abubakar Bagudu, not Atiku Abubakar, the president contestant of PDP. No, not that one. This one, Ele Google Orukwe, Bagudu Lonje, is a criminal. Pure criminal. I want to move over Abacha. Mr. Tony Adigun, good afternoon to you, sir. If you're new to the platform, share the program. Omagbola Oba said the country called Nigeria was not designed to work for the people living in there. We continue to say RIP to Daniel, the 14-year-old Nigerian boy that was starved to death by a white man with a samurai sword. What a sad way to die. Mukiyami Abosede Rachel, thank you so much. We don't want one Nigeria. We want our own nation where we speak Yoruba, same language, culture, food, and same lifestyle. Kenzie Abiola said the US returned these no to it as no many because we don't have effect in us. Those money have been returned to Nigeria. We don't know what they've done with it. Yoruba Nation TV, good afternoon. Moki brother, me, Ogbeni, Bobby, for the great job he's doing in the cause of the Yoruba Nation and many other platforms that are working back to back, educating us. But this platform takes you to the international standard. Because if you let him marry the nitty-gritty of what and how things are done outside, like Latvia. Every time you think about Alimosho, just think about it as a country of its own. Latvia is 1.8 million. Their export in 2022 was $22 billion. They manufacture so much product and ship it around the world. Alimosho can do the same thing, but unfortunately, we are stuck in a country called Nigeria. I love you too as well, Soli Solution. Happy weekend, Yoruba Nation, Lafayette TV. Ganolo Ede said, can that call in and tell us the way Nigeria can still work? I believe that person is still listening, but they have their right to say Nigeria can work again and we must not abuse them. But the problem is, how soon is it going to work? Because we are literally losing hope and we've lost hope completely. Atondajola Yemi said, Nigeria can never work. The only solution is Yoruba to go back their way. Adeke Benson, the gatekeepers are the likes of Fayemi. They know it will never work. They know they are at the reaching point. Somebody again say, please ask him of Nigeria he is. Ifa Ni Imole Aye says, British company called Nigeria can never work in a million years. And Ali Bayiboshi, Ali Bayurubashi, we are all different. We are all different in ideology. We are all different in different ways. Mr. Yemi Moki Obentawa Nilu Aja. Ifani Mole, thank you so much. And I think I've captured all those comments and we move swiftly into the conversation. Tinubu Mabawa negotiate. I know it costs you a lot to listen to me. Isiaka, Babaja. If you're in coward, you have to come back and struggle for Yoruba Nation. Come back to Nigeria. Is that what you mean? So you're saying that if I'm not coward, I should come back and struggle for Yoruba Nation. I'm sure you're talking to me, Abi. Just say yes. You're not an ambassador. If I am not coward, I should come back and struggle for Yoruba Nation. Said Balogun, good afternoon to you. Yami Nikki Decency say, I know Alimosho local government. Moki Etawa and welcome once again to the program. I know people are sent to come and try to whine us so that we can get angry, we can get upset, and we can say things, and sometimes say things that they want to hold on like somebody like me. Sadiq can win unprecedented third time. Muki our first back. But I can manage every one of you. If I wanted to respond, I will respond, but sometimes I just look away. I've told you so many times. And I'm saying it again. I will be the last person not to come to Nigeria when the right time comes. I am not talking or speaking on behalf of others. I don't know what they have at the back of the mind. But I can assure you that I will not leave Sunday Igboho alone and Baba Akintoye without me being on the ground with them. That I know. I am not saying this because I'm online, but I am saying it because I know that it is my duty at the appropriate time to be back on the soil. Just as many of you said Igboho was never going to come back home. You said so, some of you. But he came back home and nothing happened. Yes, they wanted to make something happen, but it would have been a disaster if they tried it. Because it will not be the same as 2021 when they came to his house and killed two innocent Yoruba people. So in the man say, come back home, you're a coward. Ẹ ṣe sùúrù díẹ̀ sí. Ẹ̀yin má kánjú. Ojú ń pọ́n yín ni. Moki African Confidential, my brother Dada, he tackles them on the X. Many Yoruba people are not on X, which is Twitter. So ẹ má kánjú. Ẹ má worry. Ẹ̀yin ò ní láti kánjú pé gbà ó ní mò ń bọ̀. Ẹ̀yin kọ́ lẹ máa sọ̀gbà tí máa dé. Ẹ fi yẹn lẹ̀ fún Ifá mi kó direct mi nígbà tí máa dé. And when that time comes, that probably will mean that things will start changing. I will leave it like that without saying too much. But I can assure you that if I'm to confirm for me pé I should come back home. Jésù mi ò tí sọ fún mi pé kí n wálé. Ànábì ò tí confirm it. When those are confirmed, nobody can stop it. Gbọ́ story àwọn tó máa ń gbéra tó máa padà lọ sílùú wọn láti lọ jà fáwọn ẹ̀tọ́ wọn. That time is not yet closed. Ṣẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ń wá sórí comment section pé ọmọ àlè ni mí pé kí n wálé, ẹ má worry. Wọ́n ní ilé ọmọ kì í ba bàbá lẹ́rù. Kò sí nǹkan tó ń bà mí lẹ́rù láti wá Nàìjíríà. But when that time comes, that means that things will probably be getting closer to the collapse of Nigeria. I can assure you that. Tí Biafra bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ wàhálà lẹ́nu, right? I will be making my way straight down there if my Ifa confirms I should go. But right now, ẹ̀yin má worry. Ojú ló ń kán ìbòjì, òun ń bọ̀ níbẹ̀. Tinubu ran away out of Nigeria for a long time. UK bí báyìí ló gbé náà. Kódà I was told he lived in Milton Keynes, which is on the M1. Tí bá gbé mọ́tò nísìn, tí bá pè wà látà nísìn, within 30 minutes I drive there. But let me continue to educate you from outside. Mo kí àwa Akínrẹ̀mí Ìyálóde tí mo fi tẹ̀lé Èdùmàrè kí máa. Let me stay outside and do my bidding with my message. And encourage every one of us. I have not asked anybody to go and take arms against the government. But the probability that that is going to happen in the future is very high. I can tell you that. Look at me very well. But we must plan and we must execute properly so that we do not fail. The first thing is to make sure that you all understand the purpose that's in Nigeria. If you don't understand the purpose, it's of no use. Láti wá dá wàhálà sílẹ̀. Nigeria ò tó nǹkan tó ń pè rẹ̀. Wàláì Ọlọ́run gbọ́. Ẹ gbọ́ tí Pastor Fẹ́mi sọ nínú àwọn fídíò tá a máa ń play. But Nigeria is imminent to war. But we hope that Tinubu will stop that by negotiating until they stop it. Sherry Tinubu, I pray the whole thing, the whole structure collapse. Tinubu to shetan. My worry is that Sherry Ntakoran sorry, Tinubu ba shetan ka ba shi wa no Nigeria, ka lo ma prepare for Gidi. Because the next president will not give room to all these shenanigans, stand she. They would ask everybody to the target, whether you're at home or you're outside. So our best bet, listen, we can't push it. Can't plead with Tinubu. Yes, you plead with your enemies to negotiate with us. Tobawa no one negotiate with Lua. Grandma tó pè láti America yẹn. Mo máa ń like táwọn obìnrin bá pè. Tó bá ń fún wa nígboyà pé ẹ má jẹ́ kó dẹ́rù bà yín pé tó bá fẹ́ dogun kó má dogun. Even in the Bible, violence is allowed. Quran gon allow it. Ifá gon allow it. Ṣẹ́rí gbogbo èlé tá a ṣe ń ṣe, à ń ṣe gẹ́gẹ́ bí pé ọmọlúàbí tí a fẹ́ fi gba Yorùbá nation. I've toned down because àwọn bàbá wa ò lè máa negotiate kémi máa pariwo lórí mídíà pé a máa jà ní. Mo ń disrespect bàbá Akíntóyè nìyẹn. A jẹ́ pé mo nífẹ̀ẹ́ bàbá yẹn dénú. Tá bá máa jà ẹ jẹ́ ń gbé yẹn sínú ọkàn mi. But kí n gbẹ́nu lé bá fi negotiate. But ẹ bá wá rò pé ẹnu lẹ́ ń dán. Kò sí wèrè, kò sí nǹkan lè ṣe. Kò sí nǹkan tá lè ṣe lóòótọ́. Kò sí nǹkan tá lè ṣe. But Ọlọ́run á tì wá lẹ́yìn. Jésù Kristi á tì wá lẹ́yìn. Á kọ́kọ́ dá àárín tí wọ́n rú tí wọ́n ò ní gbọ́ràn síra wọn lẹ́nu táwa máa fi máa rí ọ̀nà kọjá lọ. Á dájà sílẹ̀ láàrin gbogbo wọn àwọn tó ń darí ayé wa tí wọ́n fi jẹ́ ká lọ. Wọ́n sọ láàárọ̀ yìí nínú ètò tá a ṣe pé brọ́dà mi kan pè mí lálẹ́ àná. Wọ́n ní ìṣípá tọ́lọ́run fi hàn wọ́n ni pé kú máa wáyé. Mo ní bọ́lọ́run tẹ́ fi wọ̀nyí. Information jáde pé kú fi wáyé. We pray that Tinubu will survive it if that happens. But ọmọ Yorùbá máa múra. Should a coup occur today in Nigeria, we must prepare our mind. Èmi ò ní ìbẹ̀rù kankan tí mò ń bẹ̀rù. Thanks so much for the super chat. Ìyá mi kan for please ignore those idiotic Momo people saying Yoruba nation will be given back to just in the labor process. Let us continue because I want to focus on bá ṣe fẹ́ negotiate pẹ̀lú Tinubu. Ní ọkàn tí I know that people will say Koiki má worry Tinubu ò ní negotiate pẹ̀lú wa. Okay, I should be bringing my face. Please, White Line, can you please bring the face of those useless people that you say you should come back here? Am I worrying about you? They have the right to say whatever they have. But àwa mọ̀ pé wọ́n máa ń rán wọn wá ni. Pé kó lọ sórí page wa kó máa sọ especially somebody like one more the person lẹ́yìn àwọn ìyàwó lóyè and tó close mọ́ jù ní èmi. So they want me to come out and be saying and get frustrated and probably say things that, and hey, ẹ̀gbọ́n kan tó sọ, because I was challenged in a space. Some Yoruba people were there. Wọ́n attack me gan. Kí ló dé fi attack mi ni pé wọ́n ní màá ti gbowó ní kódà bàbá kan ní àwa la bà business òun jẹ́ ní north. Mo kí àmì Ọlájírè Coker. I don't know how that happened. Ó ní Yorùbá nation òṣì tá à ń pariwo káàkiri lẹ́nu ẹ̀. Ó ní àwa la fìyẹn bà business òun jẹ́ ní north. Irú business tó ń ṣe kò sọ. There were a lot of people that were attacking me that day. Kódà kọ̀ọ̀kan wọlé lórí fóònù mi, sísítà mi tó ní kí n lọ sórí péjì yẹn thought that bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn anger yẹn màá máa fi sọ̀rọ̀ padà. Ó wá ń pè mí pé kí n jọ kí n pull out kúrò nínú space yẹn. Òun ló kúkú ní kí n lọ sínú bẹ̀. Mo ò dá lóhùn. I was able to deal with them single group of people. Ètò yẹ kí n dá lóhùn mo dá lóhùn. Ètò yẹ kí n sọ pé mo ní láti dá lóhùn mo dá lóhùn. But one thing that came out from that conversation is that these are Yoruba people that think that èmi Sunday Igboho àti Baba Akintoye àwa là ń facilitate problem tó ń bẹ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá látara pé à ń polongo Yorùbá nation fáwọn èèyàn wa. Mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà lórí Mixlr, ẹ má bínú pé mo appreciate yín látẹ̀ nǹkan over 1 hour plus. Mr. Demi Oluwadamilare mo kí yín. Akin Games àrí comrade plan B bóyá o ti lọ sí ẹnu iṣẹ́ or something. Mo kí ọpẹ́ mo kí wọ́n tẹ́ wà lọ́jọ́ ọ̀dọ̀. So I was attacked. And I know the reason why people are saying that. Somebody then says something and say, but Koiki, you always say that there will be armed struggle. What do you mean by that? And I told them point blank again, Mokia easy, that if at any point that we think that we are capable to declare our country, we must have 60,000 fully armed men, trained. It takes just 3 weeks. I saw that King Charles visited a place in UK, taught him trainer. You can handle a gun within 3 weeks properly to shoot that down. 3 weeks. Àwọn Ukrainian soldiers tó kó wá síbẹ̀ tó ń train. Nígbà tí King Charles di ọba, wọ́n ṣe àwọn preview videos àwọn kan tó ti ṣe sẹ́yìn níbẹ̀ ló ti lọ visit wọn. That is how I knew that it only takes 3 weeks to train. So and I said yes. I am not changing my mind or my words on that. That we will need 60,000 weapons to be able to defend and protect the land, and we make a declaration. That is the option. But there's also an option of negotiation, which we cannot rule out. There's also the option that says that if we come out in large numbers, we can shut down the whole system and take back what belongs to us. I know people say, Koiki, má dá wọn lóhùn tó bá ní kó wá sílé. But again, I just have to say to them that I will, but not now. At the appropriate time. Mr. Gbenga Adesina says, and I quote, we don't need any one of you at home for now. What we need at home now is how to equip the legal groups like the VGN. Then negotiation began with the Southwest governor. And that's right. And that is also a good point. A good pointer. Bashe negotiate pẹ̀lú Tinubu. Yes, Ali knock. Yeah, look, these are not. They are not gods that tali basoro anyhow. Tabafe for any respect, for respect. I'm talking about your governors, but we should be able to negotiate with them as well. And I believe that even if those negotiations are going underneath, even if I'm aware about it, I'm not going to tell you, because that means mutin compromise niye. Kò ń ṣe gbogbo tí bá gbọ́ ni mo gbọ́dọ̀ wá máa sọ lórí live show pé ọmọ ẹ̀yin boys ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa àwọn gọ́vnà yín máa ti ń tẹ̀lé wa. Mo mọ tí bàbá Adébánjọ sọ fún mi nípa àwọn governors kankan, their position on Yoruba nation. That's all I can say. So kò sẹ́ni tá a lè negotiate pẹ̀lú, whether Yayi ni, whether Obasa ni, It is our job to go and tell them about Yoruba nation, and it is their job to say no. Bishop Koiki, the two options is what can destroy Nigeria, not even one of them. Then he says, fools, attention seeker, Koiki and the cronies, go and look for jobs. Thank you so much. I don't need a job, I'm already doing one. So if you were London, you're upset that I'm in UK. Fools, attention seeker. Who is attention seeker? Muke easy. I'm at the Fumilowo, Niyi. Or the Fumi $19. Only fools, attention seekers, Koiki and cronies, go and look for jobs to do. I'm not going to curse you because your level of understanding is different from mine. I know you are all frustrated, but èmi kọ́ lè máa kó anger yẹn wá bá. Èmi kọ́ ni mo cause problem yìí. So me, I did not cause your problem that make your father to give birth to a stupid person like you. Tí bàbá ò fi rí ṣe àti yẹ tó wá ń ṣe òṣì bẹ́ẹ̀ máa ṣẹ́wó lórí social media. Maybe you should watch my video yesterday how I was celebrating my father. 42 years after he died, he's still going. Attention seeker. Attention seeker. Níbi ni mo kúrò Nigeria in 1998. Níbo ni wọ́n wà ní 1998 when I was traveling through Gatwick Airport. Èmi ò gba Libya kọjá. Ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ gba Libya kọjá. I got a visa. I was given a visa. I went to sit for interview in Abuja. Torí pé Nàìjíríà tọ́jú bàbá ẹ̀ dáadáa. Ìwọ tó yẹ kó ti tí yẹ tó yẹ kó ti sùn ẹ́ dànù kó tó wá bí ẹ sáyé bombasta. Let's continue. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin yẹn wa. We know them because they are frustrated. Ẹ ṣe jàre ìyá mi Akínrẹ́mi. Èmi kọ́ ni mo dá problem Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. I'm Hausa yẹn pọ̀ but wọ́n pera wọn ní Yoruba o. Wọ́n kọ́ máa lórúkọ Yoruba wọn. So let's read one more time again. I keep hearing the sound there and I'm not making noise. I don't know why. Betty me load and don't ban. But the neighbor mission come behind. We want Tinubu to negotiate with us, and we truly want him to negotiate. But Tinubu negotiating with us is a catchphrase. Àwọn náà máa láwọn tó máa fún ní pressure. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n ká ti bàgúdù yẹn tán ká tó lọ sórí Tinubu. And I'm going to open the phone line. We've done 1 hour 28 minutes. I think I should allow you to talk into the line for a few minutes as well. Question tí mo fẹ́ ká béèrè ni pé ṣé Tinubu máa negotiate pẹ̀lú wa? Ó ti jẹ́ ìwà Israel kò ti mọ̀ ó ti jẹ́ already. But mo gbọ́dọ̀ kọ́kọ́ gbá ọ̀rọ̀ sórí ẹ̀ kí tó jẹ́ kó jẹ́ blocking. Àwọn ọmọ Fúlàní tó ń gbé láàrin wa àwọn náà lọ jó ilé epo market. I pity those that lost their wealth in that. In 2014, a U.S. District Judge, John D. Bates of the District of Columbia, entered judgment fortifying approximately $500 million located in accounts around the world as a result of a civil forfeiture complaint the Department of Justice filed against more than $625 million traceable to money laundering involving the proceeds of Abacha corruption. After appeals in the United States were exhausted in 2018, the government of Jersey enforced the U.S. judgment against the funds located in that jurisdiction. While we were suffering, they were moving the wealth that is meant to be for me and you into different states across America and around the world. Muki Grandma Felicia Jagbe, Muki Mr. Bamidele Mohammed, Adetunji Adedeji Muki, Muki Wamidia Stubawa Labeto. The fortified asset represent corrupt monies London during kò ń ṣe nígbà Abacha nìkan, even after the military regime of General Sani Abacha, who assumed the office of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria through a military coup on November 17, 1993, Labaja débẹ̀, and held that position until his death on June 8, 1998. In tó mú Tinubu padà wá sílé nìyẹn. Thank you so much, those of you that say I should forget about that idiot. You're funny. Those are Yahoo boys with Koiki. Gotta be careful with them. Moki Mr. Femi Tuki. Abacha came to power through military coup on the 17th of November 1993. Nígbà tó kú ní June 8, 1998. Àwọn orin Congo nìyẹn. Àwọn Congo yẹn náà wọ́n ń jayé ní UK. Kíní tẹ̀ ní mọ́tò yẹn, electric Tesla. Àwọn ọmọ Congo wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń lo chain sọ́nù bá àwọn ọkùnrin wọn. It's been a while I've driven, one drive and allowed us, okay. Mo ní bọ̀bọ̀ kan sẹ́ òun ló ń bá Abacha move owó. Ó wà níjọba Tinubu bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí. Wọ́n ń pè ní Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. Kò ń ṣe Abubakar Atiku ti PDP o. The complaints allege that General Abacha, his son Mohammed Sani Abacha, their associates Abubakar Atiku Bagudu and others embezzle, misappropriate, extorted billions from the government of Nigeria and others, then launder their crime proceeds through the US financial institutions and purchase of bonds backed by the US state. So what they did was, wọ́n jí owó ní Nigeria, wọ́n fi lọ ra bond. Wọ́n fi lọ ra bond. And everybody knows the meaning of bond. It's something that you just buy and save it there, and akoma grow. So, what are we trying to bring out from this is that owó tó yẹ kó fi ṣe Nigeria, tó yẹ kó fi look after ìmọ̀ àtẹ̀yìn, so that we can have benefit, like I said in the program this morning. Every program has its own take. In Tamasoro Lori, Taroi was more of benefit. How the UK support many people, from housing benefit to PIP to income support, universal credit. And I said that Nigeria has the money to do the same thing. But when people are stealing money and moving it out of Nigeria, how do you then get a system that works? So, this man, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu, embezzled so much that they were using the money to purchase bonds backed by the United States. Jesse Corporation, in the investigation, restraint and enforcement of the U.S. judgment, along with the valuable contributions of Nigeria and other law enforcement partners around the world, have been instrumental to recover of these funds. Under the trilateral agreement signed in February, the United States and the Jesse agreed to transfer back 100% of the net fortified asset to the Federal Republic of Nigeria to support 3 critical infrastructure projects previously authorized by the Nigerian government. Specifically, under this agreement, the recovered funds will help finance the constructions of critical infrastructure in the key economic zones, to include the second Niger Bridge, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, and Abuja-Kano Road. So that means pé lára owó tí wọ́n gbà padà wá sí Nigeria, ó jẹ́ kó ti fix the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. One of my mothers says bond is just like bond is a type of investment. àwọn people yìí mọ̀ nípa olè jíjà, wọ́n jí owó, wọ́n fi ra bond, BOND. And remember that these are money from the resources of the money sold through crude oil that is meant to return back to Nigeria, but rather the money was taken into different countries, including America, in Jersey. And one of those that was involved in this crime was Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. He is the current. My brother, please stop telling those fools your history, Jare. They are idiots.
Thank you so much.
Alan Conde, all the way in China. R.I.P. to Daniel, that was killed by samurai sword in UK a few days ago. Colomba at the Safa Ferry. Let's now come back again. Enter Walori Koikimedia. You would have to join us on other platforms. We have the Instagram running on OLAYOMI KOIKI because I feel back call. The next 1.5 hours, we've done 1 hour 36 minutes. Mo fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn bá mi dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu àti negotiation pẹ̀lú wa. Kí lẹ̀yin rò? Even if they bá disagree, kí lẹ̀ rò gangan pé Tinubu a fẹ́ negotiate, ó máa accept, kò ní accept? Scorpion Princess Mokinyin. So let's open the phone line. Anything more? I don't know the number of more than Mukini Mijade. Not part me one palo. So but enter my studio number Epiwale, enter our Lori Biba, I'm not disconnect, I'm not hello sorry platform. Look, we're live here, you can see. I am live. This is Instagram. Go and join Instagram of OLAYOMI KOIKI. And then you can continue to watch from there. Eshegoni Grandma Felicia Gagbe. Ejeka Bewale, and please put the comment there as well. I'll read it out. Yoruba don't know. Good afternoon. Now that we want to negotiate with Tinubu, kí lẹ rò pé Tinubu máa ṣe lórí pé a fẹ́ negotiate pẹ̀lú ẹ̀? Ṣó máa accept negotiation wa àbí kò ní accept? I've got the phone line open and I'll just be reading, and hopefully 1 or 2 calls will come through within the next 1 hour. We'll try and see if we can do 3 hours, and then at least, it's more than enough again for today. We will never get tired to talk, and explain things. So, wọ́n try láti wò ṣé ká tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí ń kà láti the beginning, or ká kọ̀ mú láti àárín méjì. Ẹ jẹ́ ká mú láti page 3. If President Tinubu, by the dint of knowledge and resoluteness, okay, I think there's a call coming through. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ gba call yẹn. Àwọn contributors wà káàkiri gbogbo àgbáyé. Ẹ̀yin ni contributors wà. Ẹ bá wa dá sétò náà. Ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. You're welcome to the program, sir.
God continue to bless you.
Amen.
I was start from the size of Alimosho local government.
Yes, the size of that.
Alimosho is not just the biggest local government in Lagos, the most populated local government in Lagos.
Okay.
But in Nigeria.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That's the most populated local government area in Nigeria.
Wow.
Not just in Lagos State.
Wow.
I live in Alimosho local government, and if you look at the population of Alimosho local government, is bigger than several countries. We are giving an example of it this morning. And what does that say to our people? Our people need to mind release the release of their mind from slavery. I say from time to time that our people are so tired to the point that the keys in their hands and their legs are losing. They will still refuse to move because it is in their head that their slaves and their born slaves.
Okay.
So it is people like us that will liberate them through constant education.
Okay.
And that is why the also I know that is one of the counts the Buhari raised
Okay.
You see, I keep looking at, because each time you talk to those who expect to be an elite, especially Yoruba elite, they tell you about restructuring as if it is automatic, as if they already got it.
Okay.
This is restructuring that we have been talking about for how many years?
Okay.
And then the question that comes to my mind is that restructuring is an option. It's an option because, like I always say, that there are three categories that you can put everybody who are in Nigeria. You can put us in three categories. Category one is those of us that are asking for self-determination. Category two are those that are saying no, it can still work, just restructure it.
Okay.
And category three are those that are saying there is nothing wrong with the way it is right now and continue to live like this.
Okay.
And those are the people that are actually benefiting from the system. Those are the set of politicians that have refused to do anything about it.
Okay.
It's the return to civilian government. I won't say it's a democratic government. It's not democratic. We are not running democracy. It's only a civilian government. We are running a civilian government which is not democratic. Because if it is democratic, all you need to do is say, hey, we have three categories of people, and definitely we'll see. And then let's throw it up. What does the people want? You know what I'm saying? That is a democratic system. We don't have such. And unfortunately, those who we expect to be Yoruba elites are also sounding very undemocratic. They only want to lord their own choice over everybody. You see, I'm not against our fathers who are asking for restructuring. I'm not against them. Those who are asking for restructuring.
Okay.
Like I told a company in that meeting, I said, after the training, they are Yorubas.
Yes.
There's no doubt about it.
Okay.
In his topic, he said they are the authentic voice of Yoruba, and I said, yes, I agree. They are the authentic voices of Yoruba, but they are not the only authentic. They are not the only authentic voices of Yoruba. We have more voices, and because we have more voices, we have even though we are going to the same thing, we want the best for our people. We have different approaches to it, and what do we need to do? What we need to do is in-house come together and say, what do we want? How can we go about it? Our self-examination that we're very safe. So we know can go by structuring. Okay, let us do campaign within ourselves, and let us do our own self-referendum within ourselves. And then our support can combine now when you want fail. Then they can now when they organize a voice for everybody. Because if we do that awareness within ourselves and they allow everybody to campaign freely without any fear or intimidation, if they allow that and we now do our own self-referendum, it becomes the voice of our people. If you think the joint fast over is not doing, people like you and me will be quiet. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is what we call democracy. But in the situation where some people say, if you don't talk, you don't talk. That is intimidation, that is autocratic. And that is unacceptable as far as I'm concerned. I keep saying it anyway. One thing I will not support is this. If you support equation and I don't support abusing people, I don't want us to do that. I want us to have more of our effort to educate the people. Like those cows that are coming online, those news channels, especially some of them, they are like, some of them are wild cows. Like I said, we can just talk to those people and remove them if they are going to constitute nuisance to what we are saying. But I think our efforts should be directed more at educating our people, talking to our people, and making people to realize, look, this is what we want. At the same time, we need to raise our voices to those who think they are speaking for us.
Okay, I'm from Layo.
If you want to speak for us, why you are raising your own voice, you need to only include my own voice. You can't silence me. You can't silence me and raise your own voice. That will be unacceptable. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And this is the area
Okay, in Canada, Ontario.
we need to look finally
yes.
on Atiku Abubakar Bagudu.
Yes.
That's one of the things that bothers me on the sincerity of government. If this government of our father, President Tinubu, says they want to fight corruption, they say they want to fight corruption, but our Minister of Budget and National Planning is a 61-year-old man. Is it 61?
61.
I think he's a 61-year-old, which is 61-year-old man. He's 62 years. He was born December 26, 1961. So he's a 62-year-old man who had stolen as far back as Lenin Abaka. How old was he at that time? So which is corruption is already deeply rooted in him. Now he's our own minister. He's our own minister of budget and national planning. Now, for me that lives in the United States, if I say I'm a Nigerian and I go to a state like New Jersey, how do you want them to see me? A place where they are saying that this man stole Commonwealth, brought it over there, and a foreign country bought that for us, collected that for us. Are you getting it?
Yes.
And then we are now coming back to honor this man with a ministerial position. How do you want them to take this serious? And these are some of the issues that we are talking about. But everything that our own elites think about is politics on how it's going to benefit them and how it's going to open the next door for them to come again and again. And that is why they will use somebody like this because they know that there's another power, is the block on its own in the northern Nigeria for them to be able to have their own way. And that is why they will honor somebody like this with such a position. This is somebody who should be pulling off in jail. I read this morning somewhere in Anambra that a guy who works in the bank.
Oh yes, I just saw that right now in the post from one of my team. I just saw that now. Yeah.
Who works in the bank over 112 million. 112 million naira. This guy was sent to 121 years.
Yeah, for fraud of 112 million in Nigeria's southeastern Anambra State, a former bank manager.
Yes. Meanwhile, somebody like Yaya Bello, over 80-something billion.
And they can't even capture him yet.
Telling the court to tell the government agency that they cannot arrest him. And somebody like Bobrisky is cooling off in jail. What kind of a system is that? What kind of a system are we running? And they don't look at it that the world is looking at us. And they are embarrassing us everywhere with all this nonsense that they are doing. You know what we are saying? And that is why we are asking for self-determination. I listened to Olakunle say, not life, but a replay. Later, when you have people like
where's Bio Mineral Yoruba? Shout out to you.
I listened to that conversation yesterday. I'm happy that it was a balanced one. But the question that would have come if I watched it live and I had an opportunity to call it because I realized I turned off his comment, what I would have asked them is when they begin to emphasize the issue of restructuring, they talk of restructuring. If you have self-determination now, what if the government say no to restructuring that you are asking? What's the next thing? And that is the question. None of them, because each time they are projecting and we have to get something and put down in our pocket now. Have you gotten it? What gives you the impression that you will get it? Have you not been asking for it for more than 30 years? Okay. So what if the government says no and they still turn deaf ears to you? Because of people, the power that be, like these are people are talking about Voodoo that is supposed to be in jail, but is now being honored by government.
Thank you so much.
People like that are now saying no. And we have several of them like that in that category. And you don't get restructuring. What is the next thing?
What is the next thing?
The area that you see, and that is my contribution, my brother.
All right, thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much. That is the first contributor. Let's see if we can get more. And I guess we had one earlier. Let's see if we can bring it in. Tinubu negotiation with him as the president. He has what it takes, but what do you think? Mokibabame Oyewole Benga, welcome to the program. And I have Bishop Adeshino, Mountain of mute background, Mountain of Liberty Ministry, Moki Buba, CSC, Moki Celestia, Moki Bubu, Jopadapata. ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation là ń sọ níbí àbáwọn tí wọ́n wà nílé epo kẹ́dùn ọbẹ̀ Elédùmarè kó má yẹ ká rírú ẹ̀ mọ́ ẹgbọ́n sókè bishop ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ látọ̀dọ̀ yín.
Yeah, thank you very much, Koiki. Now, a lot of people feels that Nigeria is a country like
unrepentant.
Thank
you so much.
Hello? Okay. A lot of people think that Nigeria is a country where you have a system that works like you can have in even let's say like you can have in Togo or Ghana or Benin Republic here, not to even talk of UK or US. Nigeria is gone completely. Nigeria is gone completely. People should stop living in denial. If Nigeria have an issue with you and you have to go to court on it, go and prepare for money. Go and prepare for money. There is no justice in Nigeria. It's the highest bidder that wins the case. It's the highest bidder. And that was demonstrated by President Tinubu himself on the issue of election.
Okay.
In the local areas where you have issues, people that love themselves don't take themselves to police station. They settle it amicably in the area, because when you get to the police station, either you are guilty or you are not guilty, you won't pay. You won't pay. Now, Nigeria is a place where an arm robber steals your property, you catch the arm robber, and maybe a little rougher, okay, you take the arm robber to police station, then you come back the next day, the matter could have changed. You see the arm robber released, that you bring the arm robber, you are detained, and you ask there is a petition here against so and the same police that was laughing with you, that was telling you thank you, we have arranged those criminals, we change eyes on you immediately and say you breach the law and cut one stupid thing. I mean, if you have left Nigeria for about 20 years and you are in diaspora abusing people talking about Yoruba nation, please come back home, come and live 1 or 2 weeks in Nigeria. Then you know it's God that protects the people living within Nigeria. There's no law. That's the reason you see people, even on Friday, people were on the queue in a filling station when there is no fuel, and the police shot somebody on the queue dead and ran away. That was in the news. It was mentioned the DSS police. People were even saying, what is the policeman doing here with gun? With gun. It's not that the country, the people in the leadership and everything, they are sick people. Sick people. Sick people in suit.
Bishop,
Sick people in
I want to take us to I appreciate the area you're taking us to, but I want you to bring us back to the negotiation with Tinubu.
The negotiation is because there are a lot of things that can make anybody run mad in Nigeria. Tinubu cannot accept any negotiation.
Why do you say so?
Situation, I've made it clear. In the situation, he finds himself as a president of the Federal Republic. He swear to defend the so-called
Constitution.
The so-called fraudulent constitution. He swear to defend it. And the military and the people protecting her are there. Even if he has affinity for Yoruba nation, he has to do it codedly, not openly.
So we are not likely to get anything out of Tinubu with this negotiation.
we can't even advise him on it, on how to go about it. Because I would have said, I would have said that the restructuring that they are doing, because that is the assignment they are very, very giving, restructuring. And he is finding it not easy now, trying to restructure. He is finding it not easy because they've taken some steps like police, the idea of police emphatically telling him that the state police will not work. And that's just the beginning. There are many other angles of the structuring they want to do.
So we are now, if that is the case, that means that we are in a dilemma. We want him to negotiate with us. Afenifere wants a restructure, and Tinubu doesn't seem to be able to give us any of these two.
No, he's not really as if he's going to respond to us or Yoruba nation, but on the Afenifere restructuring, he promised them, and he behaves and he's taking steps in which he's showing that he's really taking steps to fulfill what he promised the Afenifere on restructuring.
So when the Afenifere that are asking for restructuring, what actually are they asking for in terms of the restructure? We are clear of what we want. We want an independent, like Mr. Taiwo Baniso says, interesting Yoruba must be autonomous with the full sovereign status for peace and development. Afenifere wants a restructured Nigeria. What restructured Nigeria are they expecting Tinubu to give them?
Yeah, so even, let me be frank with you, Afenifere is divided almost four groups now. You have the renewed Afenifere, you have the old Afenifere, you have the youth Afenifere.
But we're talking about the Afenifere that went to visit him in Aso Rock. That is the one Tinubu recognized. Doesn't recognize all the other ones.
At least the old Afenifere that went to Aso Rock.
The fashion rotary.
Now, what they want is to return Nigeria back to the
regional government.
The regional government structure, and not exactly the regional government structure, because over the time we are used to state. We've been used to state. So they have a regional plus state structure that is organized, but power will now be returned back to regions.
Okay.
But they are not talking about a confederation system. It's not going to be confederation system.
Like the 2014 confab.
Whereby regions have their own president.
But they will still
maintain Nigeria, but resources will be controlled by the region. That is what they are asking for. And the truth of that is that if that is what you want, is that not what was in place before Akwirosi during the military? Came in and just destroy the constitution within a twinkle of an eye and match everybody to be one back, immediately back. Why spending so much, sweating so much, constituting a lot of effort so much to bring somebody into power and just to take us back to before Akwirosi kind of something that is president or prime minister, so that even if they want Nigeria, the Nigeria will be like a confederation. A confederation. Just like the way we are already in confederation with the West Africa. So there is nothing specialty with confederation with Nigeria, with everybody. That is what we are asking for. So everybody just please. In the self-determination that we are asking, that shows that we are speaking the same thing. But it is clear
Bishop,
they still want the control of power to be in Nigeria, the center. And if that is in Nigeria, the center, what of tomorrow?
Okay, Bishop, let me ask you. Let me ask you this. Once again, this is a live transmission. Kí ló dé tó à ń find it difficult to have a one uniform voice with ọ̀rọ̀ Yoruba within the Yoruba territory? One uniform voice.
You had meetings, and okay, let me not talk about that. You have discussed, you have opportunity to meet with a lot of Yoruba youths, both in the religious sector, both in the secular sector, both in the traditional sector. You have opportunity to meet with Yoruba youths and talk with Yoruba youths. You always have similar agreements. You will easily come, even if there is different opinion, even including àwọn tó jọ dálẹ̀ àti àwọn tí ò sọ dálẹ̀. Àwọn tó jọ dálẹ̀ ó pa àwọn pé owó ló ní because they love of money. Even àwọn tó jọ dálẹ̀ àti àwọn tó jọ dálẹ̀ àti gbogbo ẹ̀, you see that we all have uniform agreement. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn bàbá yìí, àwọn agree pẹ̀lú ra wọn láti lẹ̀ ní láti bàbá mi jẹ́ wọ́n read their history. Àwọn ló fi ilẹ̀ Yorùbá sí problem. Àwọn ló ń da Nàìjíríà wọ́n read their history while they were youths. Read when Buhari was president, he became president at the age of 22. Or when Buhari was president, he became president at 21 or something. But the president could go marry. Look at all their stories. How they do kill themselves, massacre all the Awolowo, the predecessors, kill their bloodthirsty kind of. And what they're not like Balaba, you are that Basile Lily, they are not ready to go killing the youths, the upcoming generation. These are terrible set of people. Now, more reason tí Ọlọ́run fi dá àrú àwọn èèyàn báyìí sí wa lágbádá ilẹ̀ Yorùbá sí ní Nàìjíríà. These are people that betray Awolowo. Awolowo is gone. They're using Awolowo name to make selfish wealth for themselves. Look at that Baba, what is his name? Baba, the Harvard University. Baba.
Afe Babalola.
I mean, at that age, Baba,
He's actually 94 years old. Baba yẹn sọmọ kékeré o. 94 years old. He's 94.
94, kí ni bàbá yẹn wá láyé ojú òní? He has university, he has all that. Ọ̀nà tó bá
Mo kí Mr. Kunle Bello, ẹ káàbọ̀ sà.
ọ̀nà tí máa yà sí university ẹ̀ ní Adó Èkìtì is a bad road. He can't tie it to show a social giving back to the society.
Social responsibility.
4 million, 1.2 million, school tuition fee, different courses. Lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọmọ tó lọ sí school níbẹ̀ yẹn, kí ló kọ́ wọn? Kí ni wọ́n kọ́ wọn tó ń jáde tí wọ́n lè develop ní tó lè àwọn títí tí wọ́n lè ẹ̀ẹ́dẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ àti olè ṣe táyà mọ́tò tó lè táyà mọ́tò ẹ̀. So, and these are the people tí àwọn là ń gbéra wa lé wọn lọ́wọ́. These people are just
all right. The last part I want you to help us before you go. Fayemi says and okay. All right. So we are in between. We are in between a danger. All right. Fayemi is probably not too old. Like Afe Babalola, Fayemi, Sani, and others agree that Nigeria is crawling, but they want a consensus on key issues. If this giant must walk again, a manifesto for a new Nigeria. That's not the area I want you to talk on. He actually went further to say that the violent activities of the separatist agitators in the southeast and the southwest is because of the Amalgamation Act of 1914, which he actually mentioned. But he now went to say that it is because of the Nigerian economy, heightening recrimination, insecurity, the violent feeling of marginalization. I put out a post on Twitter or X yesterday, and the question was, Nigeria is currently the worst place to do business. Yes, people say 65.6%, no, 12.5%, a failed state 18.8%, zero support from government 3.1%. Fayemi disagreed that we are a violent separatist because we are marginalized, because of the insecurity, and because of the recrimination and so much other grammars. Bishop, in another few minutes, what do you see to Fayemi in, what are they preparing for 2027? What are they cooking? The new Nigeria, the Nigeria is crawling. What is your take on that?
Okay, check him back, balloon for him.
Avec Ben, on l'a fait dire.
Ma bẹ́ẹ̀ balloon yẹn fún ẹ. Òun ti sọ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́, mo sọ APC, bó ṣe dé APC yẹn, wọ́n ti pín sí láì mẹ́rin.
Okay.
Now, Fayemi is a potential presidential candidate.
Okay.
For future. So,
Ben, corporate social responsibility. Yeah, Mumbai. Yeah.
He's a politician. He knows that Yoruba nation will have the highest crowd.
Okay.
He would like to speak and dance to the music of just to not knock down Yoruba nation, blah blah blah.
Okay.
But don't get it twisted. He believes in one Nigeria. He doesn't believe in self-determination.
Thank you, Mr. Matthew, for lying. Okay, Abolaji Abdullah.
Why he called us separatists. Can you get it?
Yes.
If you believe in Yoruba nation, you won't use that statement separatist. You will say a self-determination movement. He used separatist because he doesn't believe independence of Yoruba, and he believes in Nigeria, and he sees us agitating for the sovereign nation of Yoruba as a separatist that we want to go away. So that statement he makes is an hate speech. It's an hate speech that he makes. So that hate speech will make you to know his mind and his purpose. It's not for us. So because he said that because Kini Koloma, that also because Kini Koloma, we want a Yoruba nation because we want to control our faith in our head. We want a Yoruba nation because we want a good health system for our people. Can you offer good health system in Ekiti State? Was it not former governor of Ekiti State?
Yeah, healthcare center in the forest.
Dinosaurs no longer treatment. Kò sí nurse, kò sí doctor kan bẹ̀, kò sí ṣe àwọn èèyàn lára. And if these people did not have interest about the people, about the citizens, they take Nigeria government seat for a business. And that's why they do or die to get in there. And once they get in there, they cash out. Ṣebí àyàbẹ̀lò là ń rí yẹn sìn. Níbi tí táwọn èèyàn ti lọ́pọlọ tí ò bá ṣe sick people, tí ò bá ṣe pé they are sick people, how would somebody depend into money and pay
upfront school fees? Kò tẹ̀ mọ̀ bí àwọn ọmọ yẹn máa survive bí àwọn ní survive.
Ṣé máa fi government seat sílẹ̀? Ṣé mọ iye tí school fee yẹn máa jẹ́ di next year? Ó ti san gbogbo ẹ̀ lẹ́ àhẹ́ fọ́mọ márùn-ún tó bí in dollars. Kò dẹ̀ wá ń ṣe sálárì ẹ̀ owó ìjọba. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ wà ní Kogi wọ́n sanwó oṣù fún wọn. Ṣé ẹ rí pé àwọn yẹn wọ́n sick? Ẹ rí pé àwọn tó ẹni yẹn ó sick ó ní ìkọlọ test ọpọlọ ẹ̀. So we have sick people like this in our terms of government in Nigeria. And nítorí wọ́n wọ aṣọ tó neat láti ṣe rágàdédé. That's why you will see they turn the streets to like a war zone. How can police everywhere they carry gun for what? And they are not protecting anywhere. Some of them out that's not only for they will leave you vulnerable. But if the everywhere is peaceful and okay, you will see them coming there to constitute nuisance and carry gun. Mistakenly, they will kill innocent people and now run away. What is happening? We want to control our security. That is a deliberate act of killing our people. Because killing are taking place and there is no justice for it.
Okay.
These are the reasons we want Yoruba nation to spend our money, to have our own passport and have respect.
Okay.
The Nigerian passport, you should buy he goes out with Nigerian passport. You go only American passport, only UK passport. They are all dual citizen. Kò sọ yẹn náà, kò jáde kó sọ yẹn, táwọn bá like Nigeria, kó pé Nigerian passport, kó fi travel jáde, maybe one welcome money airport. Like a decent person.
Thank you so much, Bishop.
We want a Yoruba passport, we want Yoruba money, we want our health system, we want Yoruba security, we want Yoruba government, we want to take care of ourselves. Tí wọ́n bá tẹ̀ fẹ́ gba gbogbo ibi tó ní resources, kọ́ gba gbogbo ibi tó ní resources, kọ́ fún wa nílẹ̀, ká show wọn how a decent country or a nation is being run in Africa. Àwọn àwọn bóyá gbogbo ilẹ̀ tó kù wọn ò ní wọ́n, àwọn tó kù ló máa jí dé kí wọ́n fẹ́ jọ ìwà padà.
Thank you so much, Bishop. All right. Thank you so much, Bishop, for that great contribution and analysis. That was Bishop Additional as usual. We are 2 hours 12 minutes into the program. Welcome to those of you that have just joined us on Mobolaji Abdullah. Mr. Taiwo Banu says the North regards Fayemi as their own son. Fayemi is a Nigerian politician. And when he was the governor, he does not say a single word against Fulani herdsmen in the state. Great Yoruba nation, thank you so much. Omogbola Odbas was giving us that it was a corporate social responsibility that Afe Babalola University was meant to do by fixing the road. But he was able to pay £10,000, see King's College. I'm sure some of you remember. Unspent Berry, thank you so much for joining us. We are still live as we continue with the Tinubu. Bishop says that Tinubu is not going to negotiate with us. Is that your own take? Shout out to those of you on the Twitter or the X. Continue to share it as well and invite many people. 133 people are watching us, only 44 literally thumbs up to the program. That is not good enough. If more people thumbs up, it helps us with the algorithm of the program. Even if President Tinubu, by dint of knowledge and resoluteness, succeed, and with the help, call can't fail wọlé so mo disconnect. I don't know what. Oh yeah, bones okay. I'm going. Okay, on here, sir. Bẹ́ẹ̀ni sá. Okay. Okay. Eshegoni, thank you so much. Moki Gubo, if you are new to the platform, we appreciate you. If you're old, welcome back. It's coming up to 5:24. It's a beautiful weather. It's a bit sunny. I guess Arsenal might win the Premier League. I don't know, but it seems that they are topping the league with 4 point clear. Just to let you know, Sadiq Khan is the current back mayor of London. I know you're not living in London. Shout out to my yes. Eh? You tell your sister to make something for you then. Almost, almost. How are you? I'll soon finish, okay? Um, the last caller also said that Tinubu would not offer or do anything. Is that a concern to you? Yoruba Nation sọ pé caller tó pè tán yẹn ó right to Mr. Koiki. They might expect too much from Tinubu. So every one of us must go back on the round table, especially àwọn tó ń darí ètò Yoruba Nation. But they've given Tinubu up to the 15th of June láti respond padà. Bóyá nígbà yẹn ló máa react. Bóyá ká ka lẹ́tà yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ká kọ sí Tinubu. Wọ́n ní even if Tinubu by the dint of knowledge and resoluteness with the help of capable assistants whom he has brought into the government, the Cardoso, the Wale Edun, Luru Ribadu, Inspector General of Police, and the rest of them, succeed in healing Nigeria's economy to an extent, even though the economy is dent. The graph or the poll, Timoshelano, has come back with, is Nigeria currently the worst place to do business? 65.6% agreed that yes. 12% said no. Failed state, 18% said yes, Nigeria is a failed state. Zero support from government, 3.1. So, if Nigeria that Tinubu wants to prop back, we could get the giant of Africa to support you and me, ẹni tó ń tajà kékèké, ẹni tó máa gbajà lọ́wọ́ Dangote, ẹni tó máa gba shinap, ẹni tó máa gba Maggi, ẹni tó kọ́ máa set up small chaos tó máa ta gàrí, mechanic tó máa tún kàn ṣe aláta, ẹni tó need iná petrol sí, àwọn kan náà ń destabilize government Tinubu ni, àwọn kan ní Tinubu mọ̀ kó tó kó rẹ̀ sínú ẹ̀, and also so even with all the knowledge and the resoluteness, make it Tinubu, something is smelling around. Even if he succeed in healing Nigeria's economy to an extent, Nigerian economy will certainly return to its downward trajectory after him. And as an example, people say that Batib Obasanjo wà níbẹ̀, he paid our debt, he tried his best, he left a huge reserve. Then Jonathan dé ọ̀mùtí, òun kò ṣe bọ́dà àti ẹni bọ́dà tóun ṣe ni ó ṣílé owó, wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dípò owó because Jonathan fi padà wá, ó gbowó síta, ó gbé fáwọn kàbá tó lọ fi ṣe campaign, ẹni kówó jẹ, ẹni dolówó, and at the end of the day, Jonathan failed to come back in 2015 because Tinubu náà support Buhari. So Tinubu náà ti wá dé power nísìn, òun náà ti wá mọ bó ṣe ń lọ báyìí. I mean, you can feel right now the USD is trending in Nigeria. And let's look at why it's trending. And this is coming from the Naira rate as at today. Tó bá ní $1, ó máa fún ẹ ní 1,419 Naira 501. $1. Nígbà tí Tinubu máa dé, it was still under 650. I'm sure many of us remember that. So the same thing tí Baba Akintoye ń ṣàlàyé fún Tinubu nígbà pé even though with the dint of knowledge and resoluteness, pẹ̀lú àwọn ìrànlọ́wọ́ látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn tó ń kó bọ̀, tó bá tẹ̀ heal Nigerian economy to some extent, even though economy yẹn ò tí balance, because Buhari gbé economy yẹn lọ sí ibi tí I don't know where they carry us go. tó bá ní £1 lénìí ó máa fún ẹ ní 1,750 naira 98 kobo ní Nàìjíríà. Tó bá ní €1 ó máa fún ẹ ní 1,520. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Canada tẹ́ bá ní $1 Canadian ó máa fún ẹ ní 1,025. And many people are posting that. Let's read some of the comments tó wà lábẹ́ àwọn tó comment. Today is Saturday. Basically, almost all major economic activities are closed. So what is plummeting the dollar yet again, considering the rate dropped yesterday? Anyway, on your mandate we shall stand. So ẹni tó ń bèrè yìí, only there is no activities, the stock exchange are closed ó tún dijọ́ Monday. Kí ló ń fà tí imbalance wà nínú dollar? Some might say, but Koiki àṣàna dollar, kí ló wá dé tí kan wọ́n gógógó ní Nàìjíríà? We are not producing enough to feed ourselves, to consume. Títí kan medication tá ń lò, títí kan gbogbo tá ń lò, wọ́n import ẹ̀ wọlé ni. Ìyẹn làwọn kan ṣe já port authority gbà lọ́wọ́ wa. À ń pera wa ní ọmọ Lagosians, ọmọ Yoruba, àwa kọ́ la ní port authority, even though it's bringing a lot of money. Èèyàn kan tún sọ níbi ó ní $1,419, one goes for APC fruitful. Eléyìí ni let's clap for them. Pẹ̀lú Solomon. Ó ní kó pàtẹ́wọ́ fún Tinubu. Ó ní kó pàtẹ́wọ́ fún Tinubu. Let's read more comments. Eléyìí ni not bad. Since dollar came down, came down month ago, things for market no come down. Again, àwọn èèyàn sọ pé Koiki, ìyá wa Olúrẹ̀mí Báwálé sọ pé don't speak for Tinubu before the stipulated time. The time will speak for itself. Everything is going to work together. No, it's the job of the media to review. I am not speaking for Tinubu. I am just saying that what is our view in the negotiation? That's the normal thing a journalist would do. You allow people to say things whether Omashiko the shape. Toba say yes, it's of the benefit for me and you. Toba de she not. What next? So we have to prepare our mind. Yes, Montowa in mind the Tinubu. Only decide who negotiate Belua. Only decide who negotiate. But the last two callers disagree that Tinubu will negotiate. And we are not the spokesperson for Tinubu. Tinubu has a lot of spokespeople that are being paid. I am not paid by Tinubu, but I am being taken care of by Yoruba people to speak and deliberate on the letter which we have been treating since 2 weeks now. But this is the only thing so she get the valuable asset for the government. Letter read. Apart from the other Tabajade from Rally, the Ataba Tinubu Badawa Lon to Loma Noda, a young Yoruba, Bosso Titi came up with in a peaceful way. I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen after the 15th of June. But it is already a countdown. And in a fault, within the next 1 month, the deadline will finish, and we wait and see whether there's a response. If there's no response, our leaders will come out and tell us what we should be expecting and what we should be preparing our mind for. And like I said, I will not be coming out to be saying, Amaja, when there's a negotiation going on. That would not be too good for me to be saying, as it would be like a disrespect to Babakito. But in my mind, I believe that that will still be part of what is going to lead us out of Nigeria. There's no doubt in my mind. I cannot say anything more than that. Peaceful, it will be very difficult. So the dollar seems to be going up. Dollar don't rise like Gari Jebu. She don't look Gari Jebu to really do marry. To look on me. Only dollar to rise like Gari Jebu again. Talo post kini. Go, rich and con we man consider. eléyìí the artificial strengthening of the naira has backfired again. ṣe rántí pé Cardoso àti Wálé Ẹdùn were trying to defend the naira by using the forex, the foreign reserve. Wọ́n lo foreign reserve láti fi defend the naira. ọmọdé ni fẹ́ dá sórí ètò mi, but let's call them back. So wọ́n fi forex wọ́n fi defend the naira. Now ní enough forex, the forex is dilapidated. Ní more money tó ń wọlé because export nǹkan kan tó máa fún wa ní dollar. But the government believe that me and you, our diaspora, will help them to prop up the dollar. Pé a máa mú kí àwa ìrètí. Want it is well in Jesus' name. Amen. So the Tinubu's government expect that the more tá a bá ń ṣiṣẹ́ níta, the more we can pump money back home, and it will give them a lot of dollar. We'll keep up our Sunday Adébánjọ. Again, let's read two more comments. Eléyìí, somebody said the other day that hold your dollar tight. They were abusing his prophecy. Kí ló ń jẹ́ kí dollar máa lọ sókè? As of today, if you just join us, $1 is going to give you 1,419, while one Great Britain pound sterling it will give you 1,750. €1 will give you 1,520, while one Canadian dollar will give you 1,000 naira. Kí ló ń fà? Why is this pressure cooker happening? Is because for 63 years, owó tẹ́ kọ́ lò kó fi prop up economy in Nigeria. Bagudu and the Abacha children were stealing that money out of Nigeria to New Jersey and around the world, and those money were kept there. Mokiyawa Ajiboye, Elizabeth Yetunde, wanted me the Lord help us, which is what we need. We need the Lord Jesus Christ to help us. We need Anabi Muhammad to help us, and we need to pray to the gods of the Yoruba land to help us. We are in danger, and our life is all at risk, regardless of whether you live in Nigeria or not. Our life is all at risk. How do we transform our life to come back to normal? We are hoping that Tinubu would at some point negotiate with us in terms of our quest and our right to self-determination. Tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n máa ń ta kínní ní Tesco ni, màá ní ká dáwó tó pọ̀ ká kọ̀ lọ sí Tesco ká lọ clear. Tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n ń ta ní Costco, Lidl, Walmart, but self-determination is not sold. Mo kí bàbá wa Ogbara Kennedy. It is something that we have to push and negotiate with our representatives, our governors. But they have a different ideology to what we want. They want a Nigeria that they can use to control us all. Let's read the letter. We are just 30 minutes to the end of this program. We are already 2 hours, 29 minutes. The program we had in the morning was much of benefit. What benefit have you gained from Nigeria as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, apart from the passport that you paid your nose? I should be looking forward to renew my passport soon, is it? Oh my God, likely, let me see. Tí Tinubu bá prop up economy to make it work, what about tí Tinubu bá lọ? Tell me about it. It will return it to the downward trajectory after him. That will be more disaster. That would affect us a lot. Mukiba Bawa Abi Elijah. The forces pushing Nigerian economy downwards, including Nigeria's enormous culture of public corruption, are just too powerful. Mukiyami Elizabeth Ashafa. Warning, may God help us, and that is the only prayer that we can ask now. Nibon, Ninkota Likija. All we have is the media that we are using today. Láti fi ṣí wa lọ́kàn látara Nigeria. I know some of you are fed up and say, look, Koiki, gbogbo tẹ́ ń ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ yóò tẹ̀ yé wa, kí ibo là ń lọ gan, ẹ jẹ́ kí Dúpẹ́ wọlé, ó gbá sí fún yín lára, ó take advantage, ó da gbogbo ẹ̀rú. It is part and part of the process. It shows that Interfegba is a lasting solution to our problems. Ìyẹn ló ṣe gbé Dúpẹ́ dìde. Lóòótọ́, we thought we were all working on the same ideology. Ìgbà tó dẹ̀ ti di pé tóun bá bàbá sọ̀rọ̀, bàbá máa kú. Kí la gbé, kí la ti jù? Touchy, thank you so much. Kí la gbé, kí la jù? Tó máa di pé bàbá máa kú tó bá bàbá sọ̀rọ̀. Ó dà into náà níyẹn wá jẹ́ kárí. Now, ìjìnlẹ̀ ń sọ nísìn pé tó bá ti jáde ni signal tún máa jáde. Irú signal wo nìyẹn? So literally, it shows that the movement was a very solid structure and strong. Tí bàbá Akíntóyè bá tẹ̀ náà máa declare, tí kò dẹ̀ tí make that declaration, it's because maybe ní kan tá fi declare. Okay, àwọn tó declare nísìn, kí ni outcome? You are still spending Nigerian money. You are still operating under Nigerian law. Mo kí bàbá mi Tèmídayọ̀ Dennis Omitogun ó tójọ́ mẹ́ta dáàdì granddad. Wọ́n ní gbére kú iṣẹ́. Up Yoruba nation no going back. Why then do you think that Mr. Mogbolawon, Naira is still on a free fall? Nothing in reserve to hold it. No exporting goods. I told you that Latvia, ìlú kékeré, on export up to 22 billion US dollars. Alimosho in population ju Latvia lọ. So tá bá ju industry tá fún iná sí Alimosho fún 24 hours. Tí à ń propel, tá à ń produce a lot of things. Ó máa fáwọn náà ní revenue láti lè dá dúró. So ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation tí Dúpẹ́ wá interfere, wọ́n mọ̀ pé in tó ní kìmí lẹ́yìn ni. Because gbogbo wa náà lájọ dúró tì, kò ń ṣe mí nìkan. Pastor Mo mo kí yín. Well done, strange woman ní Dúpẹ́ Onítìrì. She's a very strange woman. Mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin kan lè máa wò pé Koiki ẹ̀ẹ̀kọ́ like woman ẹni. We spoke with her. Tọ́ba dẹ́n tó close jùmọ̀, I was one of them. I believe that. Until we realize that, ọmọ ìyá Yorùbá. Ṣé mọ̀ pé tó bá yẹ pé dúró dáadáa tí Ọlọ́run ò dúró tì wá? Ṣé mọ̀ pé ó lè díjà láàrin mi àti olóyè sílẹ̀? I don't think some of you know that. Báwo lẹ ṣe máa feel kẹ́ máa gbọ́ pé Dúpẹ́ dájà èmi àti olóyè sílẹ̀? That is how he wanted it to be. But we were very careful. Èmi àti olóyè wọn, we were talking almost on a daily basis. It's not for public consumption. Àwọn kọ́kọ́ wà tẹ́yìn ò mọ̀, ẹ̀kan rò pé bóyá wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ Dúpẹ́ Onítìrì. No. But all those things will be revealed in my book in the future. They are still classified, not for public consumption. And I'm not making this up. Tabara into sumo movement dáadáa mo wà lára wọn. For the fact that I'm close to Baba Akíntóyè, tí bá pe professor ọmọ àgbẹ̀ call me, àfi tó bá ń sùn, àfi tó bá ní meeting. A lot of things happening. Going to buy the dogs food. I know. Òun lọ ra oúnjẹ ọjà. Òun lọ ra oúnjẹ ajá níbọ̀ mi. Wọ́n ti kó àwọn ajá yẹn lọ lẹ́ẹ̀mejì síta. Wọ́n ti lọ yàgbẹ́, wọ́n ti lọ exercise, wọ́n ti tún kó wọn wọlé padà. But they're very big dogs. We are very careful. So what we are trying to say is that, thank you so much, Ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ọmọgbọ́láwọn. One in Nigeria, the Naira is still on a free fall. Nothing in the reserve we hold it, because we are not exporting goods except crude oil, which money has been collected without not supplying the crude oil. Àti yá owó, àìtí supply crude oil. So Dúpẹ́ tó wọlé wá sínú movement ó ti study ẹ̀ láti tà lẹ́yìn. Ṣé mọ̀ pé àwọn kan ṣẹ́ tó máa ń ṣe nìyẹn, analyst ni wọ́n. Gbogbo bàtà bẹ̀rẹ̀ movement yẹn what English, Americans, Asian wọ́n ti kọ́ àwọn kan dìde kọ́ máa monitor nǹkan tá à ń ṣe. Àwọn ilé máa bà business jẹ́ fún wa o, because the dangerous weapon òun ni káwọn èèyàn máa gbẹnu lé nǹkan ní ànígbà. Ẹ mọ̀ pé ànígbà yẹn la ṣe wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú gbogbo tí wọ́n dá sílẹ̀, pẹ̀lú gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tọ́pa èyí tọ́pa mọ́ ẹ̀mí, tọ́pa mọ́ gbogbo wa àti oríṣiríṣi nǹkan tó ṣe, eventually a sọ pé ànígbà. Òun ni the dangerous weapon. That is why people were concerned, especially on my platform, because wọ́n wò pé 2023 Koiki àti Igboho máa dá wàhálà lẹ̀ sí Nàìjíríà gan-an bí bọ̀bọ̀ ìṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀. Ọmọ onísọ̀rọ̀ tó kù síbẹ̀ wàá dúpẹ́ fọlọ́run. But the last thing we will do is to go and start attacking people that are our own. But we saw those that were attacking people. Àwọn tí wọn lọ attack àwọn yẹn náà jẹ́ kó vote. So Dupe played a role by slowing down the movement, but the movement was never derailed. Yami Olajire Kokani, that woman was very clever but dangerous. Ṣé mo pé nígbà tí mo ní mo fún ní nǹkan kan ọ̀kan ní bóyá ó ṣíwò wẹ̀ fún mi ni, I gave her my personal ID with the hope that we are doing the same thing. Nígbà tó náà wọ́n need the ID mi pé kí n send ẹ̀ sóhun, I sent it to her. Sami Japan made me know that it was used to be prepared for part of their declaration. Imagine, I would have been roped to say that I was involved in that declaration because my signature and my ID was involved. How? She was a very dangerous woman. She tried, but Ọlọ́run ò gbà fún délẹ̀. So gbogbo àwọn tó ń ní ó ti gbé adélé o, a ní kòkòrò rìn lórí yín. Ó bẹ́tà ká ṣì sábà negotiate. Tí negotiation bá wá fail, pray kò fail. Tó bá fail, mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, our own is not cleverness. 60 days sọ pé dúpọ̀ ní tìrẹ ọmọ àlè ní nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Ọlọ́run ó dàrin àjò ẹ̀rú. Ó dàrin àjò ẹ̀rú. Ó split every part of the movement. Kò sílùú kan tí kò pín lọ́rọ̀ pé Dúpẹ́ wọlé wá bá wa. Àwọn ti Libya wọ́n pín sí méjì. America, UK, Canada, Nigeria, ó tẹ̀ kó àwọn yẹn jẹ because àwọn yẹn rí Bàbá Akíntóyè as the enemies and the traitor àti Ìgbòho based on intíjìlẹ̀ àtàwọn wálé àlè tí kòkòrò rìn lórí wọn tó ń sọ jáde. But the truth will prevail one day. Olakunle Dúpẹ́ is still monitoring our next information to re-strategize, but she will fail. She's a betrayer and takes the movement miles backward. It was all part of the game for them. Yemi sọ pé Game Boy ni wọ́n, battery wọn ti kú, but they are monitoring and watching. And that is why Igboho has kept quiet. Baba Akintoye continued to speak, Otumba Demola continued to speak. While we continue to speak, Igboho has nothing to say. Àti gbé lẹ́tà síwájú Tinubu, and we wait and see what next. Wọ́n orúkọ tí ọmọ máa san mọ́ ẹ̀, abẹ́lábẹ́kùn ẹ̀. Gbogbo ha, bó, bí, ha. Lẹ́ẹ̀kankan mo kàn máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ pé, but I have also tread carefully because I know that they took advantage of that. Ẹnu lọ níbi àjàkàrà, àgbàlá, àgbòsò. Because wọ́n mọ̀ pé tó bá ń sọ yẹn, bí a máa jáde, máa sọ àwọn kan, tá máa sọ pé yes, ẹnu kọ́ la ní. Mo lè sọ pé àní kankan, àdẹ̀ ní kankan. But ẹ̀yin tẹ́ gbà gbọ́, what is now the end result? Grandma Princess Awoniyi, in fact, a very big kokoro is disturbing their head. We are still in a country that is operating under the federal system, and then somebody say, àti gbé adélé wọlé, àti ìṣèjọba tiwa, adélé wà níbi tó wà, and all this nonsense. And some people in Europe, in America, in Asia, bọ̀bọ̀ kan wà ní Malaysia tó wà pẹ̀lú àwọn tó gbọ́ ní tìrì, that when we started together, it was part and strong movement guy ní Malaysia. Kòkòrò ti rìn lórí ẹ̀. And the whole thing was because they were all gbogbo wọn ní inside nǹkan tí Dúpẹ́ ń ṣe o, yàtọ̀ sí nǹkan tó kàn sọ fún wọn. Nobody has any information kankan because Dúpẹ́ was not revealing anything to anybody. But that is on that. Mo kí Ọlákúnlé kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun. And as we continue to monitor them as well, we will continue to see what outcome. We are literally 20 minutes to the end of the program. It won't go more than 3 hours. My children also need me right inside. Àti agree pé tí Tinubu bá tẹ̀ fix it economy in Nigeria, there are people that will bring it backwards. There is no other country in the world about whom Nigerians kind of story can be told. Intertolerate nínú Nigeria, intergbàmọ́ra nínú Nigeria. Tó bá jẹ́ pé ìlú mi ni ó ti máa explode tipẹ́tipẹ́. Ṣẹ̀rí lóòótọ́ àwọn kan ní ẹ really look, those things also has literally hold us to be able to become weak in mind. Intertolerate nínú Nigeria, right? Tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé Yoruba nation no, tolerate nínú Nigeria. Kò ń ṣe tó yẹ ká tolerate rárá. And àwọn ọmọ yẹn try. They pushed out during the EndSARS, and Tinubu and Sanwo-Olu kicked back against them and said, no. Nígbà ilé. And military were released from the barracks, came to the border of the toll gate and killed innocent people. And some Nigerians came out and said nobody died. Yoruba Nation sọ pé, I wish this woman did not come into our midst. Yoruba Nation would have been in 80%. The strong voice, even though there has been some people that fall apart. Trying to lift up Nigerian economy sustainable is a futile venture. Tinubu ń gbìyànjú pé kóun tẹ̀ gbé economy yẹn sókè díẹ̀, kó tẹ̀ gbéra ńlẹ̀, tó bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ kó gbéra ńlẹ̀ gan, is a sustainable, is a futile venture. As you know very well, Mr. President, the collective psychology of our Yoruba people is fundamentally vital to development, progress, prosperity, and a constantly improving quality of life for all citizens. Oh yes, the reason why we have a lot of weak people is because our people have been damaged for a very long time. Koiki, bóyá tẹ́ ń fún wa, ṣé kò ṣe pọ́lọ́pàá máa wá kó wa nílé, wọ́n pé wọ́n sí nílé. Then later people realize that, oh, tobacco, we can do something around it. Right to Alanjafu, and she coup plotter, and she separatist. Self-determination and beautiful. Buhari tó gbìyànjú títí. Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ ká borí Buhari, a máa borí ẹ̀. A borí Buhari. A borí ẹ̀. Ṣé mọ̀ pé kò ń ṣe pé 8 years tí Buhari wọlé la bẹ̀rẹ̀ movement. It was literally láàrin méjì ẹ̀. So Buhari dé, ó threaten wa. One of the biggest threat tí Buhari fún wa òun ni attack ilé lóyè Ìgbòho. Imagine if it has gone the other way round. Kí lẹ rò pé máa ṣẹlẹ̀? Buhari came in, but àwa la padà jẹ àkàrà ẹ̀. Àwa la jàkàrà President Muhammadu Buhari because àníyàn tó bá wá. Mo níyàn kan gba bíbá kọjá tó pè mí, ó ní Koiki má wálé o. Mo ní wálé dáàdì, má wálé, mo mọ̀ ẹ́ ni, má wálé o. Ó ní ká máa dúpẹ́. Buhari bẹ̀rù Sunday Igboho bí ṣọpọ̀nà. I have said it and I've told you so many times before. I am done. Wọ́n kúkú ń parọ́ mọ́ kú ọ̀run. Ikú bàbá yèyé pè mí àti Igboho sínú, not the palace, it's private place, which I'm not going to tell you. The two of us. After talking mọ̀ pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ wà níbẹ̀, but the very first day wọ́n ní kí n jáde, Igboho ní Koiki bá ti jáde, èmi náà mo ní jókòó lórí ìjókòó nìyẹn, ẹ̀ tí fi bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ nìyẹn. Àwọn dẹ̀ accept, okay, o trusted ló ṣe ní kó jókòó. Wọ́n ní Buhari ní kó arrest Igboho sínú palace. Buhari send message sí Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́ pé kó bá wọn mú Igboho mọ́lẹ̀ tí sójà máa fi dé láti wá mú sínú palace. Mo ní sọ tí chief sọ, but what Aláàfin said then was that Igboho tán rí yẹn kọ́ ni original. Ó sọ yẹn, ìyẹn àkọ́kọ́. Wọ́n wá ní ṣó tẹ̀ possible ṣá kí wọ́n wá mú Igboho mọ́nú palace. Etí wo ni kò ti gbọ́ yẹn pé Sunday Igboho wọ́n arrest ẹ̀ nínú palace Aláàfin of Ọ̀yọ́. Buhari was scared of Igboho, and that's all I will just say for now. There's never been any prosperity and improvement of life or quality of our citizens. Hello, program tí mo ṣe láàárọ̀. I talked about every kind of benefit táwọn èèyàn ń gbà nílùú yìí. Mo dẹ̀ lẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà ní Nàìjíríà, táwọn cousins yín, àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ yín bá ń sọ pé Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà dá, ẹni rọ́lọ́pàá. Ẹ béèrè pé irú benefit wọn làwọn ń gbà ní UK, kò sẹ́ni tí kò kí ń gba benefit kan nílùú yìí. Tí wọ́n bá gbà, àwọn ọmọ tó bí ń gbà. Kò sẹ́ni tán kì í fún ní benefit, especially if you have the right to, kò ń ṣe gbogbo ìrànlọ́ ní right láti gba benefit. Tó o bá ní ìwé gba benefit, tó bá ń gbà wọ́n máa gbà padà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀. Tó bá ń fún ẹ ní benefit tí o ní right láti gbà tó o níwèé tí o dẹ̀ ń gbà, you're gonna put yourself in problem. Be very careful. I know what I'm talking about. So, for as much as I know, all the Yoruba people have never benefited anything from Nigeria. Moki, sister me, auntie me dada, if I do me like it. Thank you so much. Yeah, Pastor Money, electricity is enough to propel protest, but people are so used to suffering. And that is true. For the fact that electricity bill was okay, they can't láti protest, but people are weak. Like that guy said, Tinubu is a weak element. Is a weak element against the Bubuwa. I pray the Kolon Kosininu Kolishe interfere. Therefore, Your Excellency, it will amount to a betrayal of our people for us, their prominent sons and daughters, to consciously accept to continue to include our people in a country like Nigeria that is obviously producing economic collapse and threatening terrible devastation for all. Moki baba mi Bolaji Jayola, ṣé Nigeria ò tí tó pé ó ń collapse economy fún wa? Ẹ wo tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé epo, ẹ wo àwọn ìyá yẹn. Okay, bí àwọn kan bá wọn raise owó ṣá lórí social media, but ṣó lè dàbí ṣá Thanks so much, Joseph Jones. Thank you so much. We're just passing by. Ṣó possible pé àwọn tí ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí nílé epo tí à ń bá yín kẹ́dùn, I am 3,000 miles away, mo máa sọ pé 6,000, wọ́n ní kò tó bẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n ní 3,000 ní láti ìgbà èdè Lagos. We feel for you. Màmá mi ò kúkú ń tajà níbẹ̀, àǹtí mi ò tajà níbẹ̀, family mi kankan ní business níbẹ̀, but we feel the pain pé àwọn kan wá dàbẹ̀rú níbi tẹ́ ti ń ṣe òwò, níbi tí ẹ ti ń rọ́jú láti survive in a very dear economy bíi ti Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n dẹ̀ wọlé, wọ́n dẹ̀ sun gbogbo bẹ̀ pa. Àdẹ̀ ráwọn influencer kó jáde, àráwọn Eniola Badmus kó tẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ bí a tẹ̀ gbé wéètì pé Ṣèyí Tinubu á gbọ́. Bọ̀dúrà àwọn yẹn bá sọ̀rọ̀ Ṣèyí Tinubu á gbọ́. Àrí Linda Ìkejì kó sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Àrí Mr Blog. Àrí this. Àráwọn AY. Àráwọn big influencers. Àrí sister wa tó wà ní London, ọmọ Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá. Moróhùn àti Anthony Joshua lọ́sàn-án yìí. Mo mọ ibi tó ń lọ tọwọ́ suit tó múra rẹpẹtẹ. Àwa kéékèèké tá à ní voice, àwa la wá kẹ́dùn pẹ̀lú yín, even though pàtí wọ́n ní pé àwọn tájọ́ ń gbé criminal ni wọ́n, economy destroyer ni wọ́n, àwọn ò nílé tó ń gbé, àwa là ń rẹ́ǹtì ilé, àwọn ò kí ń rẹ́ǹtì ilé. Ẹ wo bó ṣe bà business jẹ́, ẹ wo bó ṣe àwọn tó ti ń ṣòwò, ẹ wo bó ṣe sanwó di ẹni tó ní mọ́. Àwọn tó yẹ kó lóhùn kó sọ̀rọ̀, Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù ó sọ̀rọ̀, àwọn gọ́vnà sọ̀rọ̀. Tó bá jẹ́ pé gọ́vnà tó ní àyàn ọkàn ní Sanwó-Olú, gbogbo tó bá ṣe ó yẹ kó fi sílẹ̀ kó lọ sáàárín ọjà yẹn, kó tẹ̀ lọ fún wọn ní assurance pé mo bá yín kẹ́dùn ní bíbá. Èmi tèmi gbé ní London lèmi bá yín kẹ́dùn. Bàbá àròlé tẹ́ntẹ́n báyìí, ẹ wo Yorùbá Wuyì ní lánàá, mo wà lórí program yẹn báyìí, ìyá yẹn ó wà frustrated. Àwa là ń kẹ́dùn pé owó táwọn èèyàn fi ń ṣòwò, àwọn kan dẹ̀ dáná sun látara pé èèyàn kan náà ń jẹ 16,000. Tó bá tẹ̀ wá bí àwa ṣe bá fún ní 16,000, èwo aláàbọ̀rọ̀ dáná sínú market. Tó bá bí wá, a lè pò 16,000 láàrin ara wa, ká send sẹ́ni yẹn pé ó kò jẹ́ 16,000, ó lè làwọn Yorùbá wọ̀ fi sanwó fún ẹ, ó yá gba 16,000. But ọjà tẹ wá join nísìn, ta ló máa pay compensation padà? Secondly, Mr. President, we are just 7 minutes to the end of the program. As you know very well, and as the whole world knows, we Yoruba are considerable, well-educated people. We are educated people. We are educated people, but we are just kind of like, what the hell is wrong with us? Kí la ṣe? Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wo gan la ṣe? The programs of free primary education commenced in our Yoruba homeland in the 50s, extended up to the free secondary education in the 70s, have produced the blessings that we Yoruba are very much an educated people. The younger sector of our population, our people of age 18 to 50 years old of age, are the most solidly educated generation among our adult population. The meaning and the consequences of this fact are as follows. First, our youthful adults are, because of their education, very dynamic and impatient population. Our men and women of this generation unable to bear the serious depreciation of the Nigerian economy, the consequent high and escalating rate of unemployment in Nigeria since 1990. Thank you so much, Yawa Mojupela. Wow, Taiwo David, thank you so much. Babawa Ogumode Tunji, thank you so much. And the rising insecurity in Nigeria have been fleeing in ever increased numbers to the other countries of the world for decades. Dennis, thank you so much. Today, some estimates have it that more than 11 million members of this Yoruba generation have fled abroad. Àwọn kan ṣe ń wọ ọ̀nà bó ṣe máa sá lọ, mo kíyàwó mo dúpẹ́ làwà. As I speak to you right now, many people are processing their visa to find their way out of Nigeria. I will not stop you from doing so. I will encourage you if you can mind your way out of Nigeria, but please do not ask me about Oloshimade UK. I am not immigration officer and I do not do visa. Any of my people that work with me, if you speak to them, Tabana on visa, it is someone Mogoni. We are 4 minutes away to the end of the program. No other nation in the world is losing population as heavily as these. The Yoruba nation in Nigeria is losing too heavy. A part of its most educated, most dynamic population is losing developmental capability, is bleeding too heavily. I'm bleeding, I'm bleeding it out. Kò ń ṣe fault wa tí kò bá ń ṣe pé òyìnbó tó dá wàhálà sílẹ̀. But it can be rectified if Tinubu is serious to negotiate and pull us out of Nigeria. We pray he does so. As I leave us this evening, we Yoruba are troubled. We are even frightened by this trend. We strongly desire to stop it. We are sure that the only viable solution is to have a separate country of our own. A country in which we can build the national economy as competently as we are able to do. A country in which we can seriously and quickly revive our people's economy. A country that can attract back our exile from all over the world, including myself and many Yoruba people to Benita. Your Excellency, President Bola Tinubu, we Yoruba seriously expect to have your sympathy and cooperation, and the sympathy and the cooperation of the federal government of Nigeria in this serious and noble enterprise. I will leave the third one for another day. And on that note, that is still part of our discussion with President Bola Tinubu. It's another lecture, it's another weekend. I will not be out again today. I will spend the evening either watching a movie, Professor Oluwafemi Eshekabosorieto, on the Netflix, or I'll probably be spending time or Sister Miyinka TNT. But apart from that, I'll be behind the closed door doing my own little thing. Remember that we are independent media, and your support is always going to help us. Probably not financially alone. Pray for me, pray for my family. Any attack should not come to us. They are trying. They want to take the voice. But God's on our side. The voice will remain active. I have nothing, but I have God on our side. If I haven't mentioned your name during the program, Wasil Taiwo, thank you so much. Theophilos, thank you so much. Mr. Michael Koka, you are this good job. May God bless your family. Thank you so much. To all our grandfathers, the Yoruba elders of council, Afeni Ferry Akinyi, Afe Babalola Akinyi, and governors Akinyi, we hope you will do the needful. Thank you so much. And that is how far we can go this evening. Anything about Nigeria, it costs you a lot. I know some of you might not be able to watch it straight away. Download it, take your time to watch it. One day, my copies of my programs will be available, across Nigeria, if Nigeria is still existing. But we need a lot of money to produce those kind of things. Without money, I can't do such. If I have good amount of money today, thousands of pounds, I'm a producer. Adam I will them riba every week. And ele to share jáde tó ń gbóná fẹ́lifẹ́li tí Koiki ṣe ní London. Òye yín, mo kí gbogbo èyí alálùbáríkà. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n wọlé lọ 3 hours mo ti wà lórí ìjókòó. Mo gbádùn atẹ́gùn, mo like àwọn ewé tó ń face mi. àwọn ewé yẹn ó ti spring síta ó ṣó pé summer ti dé tán nígbà winter gbogbo ẹ̀ dànù wálẹ̀ ni. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn tó ń bẹ láyé, àwọn tí ọlọ́run elédùnmarè gbé ayé lé lọ́wọ́, àwọn oníṣẹ́ yìí. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin babaláwo àgbáyé, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin pastor, mo kẹ́yìn imam, mo kẹ́yìn àfà, mo kí ẹ̀yin ọmọlé kéwú. Mo kí wa pé kí elédùnmarè kó má fi ilẹ̀ Yorùbá sí ọwọ́ àwọn ajẹnikòkò, àwọn tó fi gbalẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Ọmọdé ni àgbàlagbà ni ló fi gbalẹ̀ Yorùbá mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Abẹ̀yìn lórúkọ Jésù Kristi kọ́lọ̀ má jẹ́ kó rí gbà mọ́ wa lọ́wọ́. Ẹ má ní kò possible, it is possible tá a bá ti sùn ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ. Mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, thank you so much for the love. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn Koiki pátápátá lọ́mọdé lágbàlagbà. Mo kí Alájà Fausat Ọládipúpọ̀ Balógun. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ ń bẹ ní phase 2 Ládéníjà Àdèlé. Mo kí ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ ń jà Màláṣítà. Mo kí yín ní gbogbo ilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn. Mo kí ní gbogbo Ìbàràpá East ní ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní April last month when over 20 people were killed pẹ̀lú aboyún kan. Kọ́lọ́run Elédùmarè kó bá wa tẹ́yìn sí afẹ́fẹ́ rẹ̀ àwọn tó ti kú. Ní kankan lóòótọ́, àmọ́ mo mọ̀ pé láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà Jésù Kristi kò ní fi ìran Yorùbá sílẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin tí ẹ máa ń criticize ẹ̀sìn kan sẹ́sìn kan, mo máa ń bẹ̀ yín ní gbogbo ìgbà, mo máa ń rí comment yín láwọn platform míì. Ẹ fẹ́ni tó ń sin Jésù sílẹ̀, ẹ fẹ́ni tó ń ṣe tànàbì sílẹ̀, ẹ fẹ́ni tó ń ṣe tó ní ìṣẹ̀ṣe sílẹ̀. Mo mọ̀ pé àwọn nǹkan iṣẹ́ kan tó fi máa ṣe ni pé láti bring ẹ̀sìn yẹn down. Kò sí nǹkan tá lè ṣe sí. Christianity is part of us. Islam is part of us. We cannot do anything to it. We just have to live with it amicably. Mo kí Yami Dorcas Kazeem. Mo kí gbogbo àwọn alásàlátù. Àwọn Yoruba Elders of Council. Wọ́n ní Koiki Adẹ̀níkù tó wá lé ní kí ló tún ṣẹlẹ̀ àríyá lé ní ẹ má bínú. Èmi àtàwọn ọmọ ọdún alájọ wà nílé. Thank you so much once again. Bàbá mi Kúnlé Ṣítà. And on that note, I'll try and see if I can recite the anthem of air. Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa. Forílẹ̀ ibi wa, kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga fàlérí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé bá ti bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹjẹ ká máa lépa, tẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Odùduwà, ọmọ Oòduà dìde, bọ́ sípò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ ògo adúláwọ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ìyá mi tí ẹ wà lórí ètò tẹ́ ń fi àdúrà ràn mí lọ́wọ́. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin grandma, gbogbo ẹ̀yin aunties mi, gbogbo ẹ̀yin beautiful sisters mi. Ọgbọ́n Elédùmarè á wà pẹ̀lú wa ní gbogbo ibi tó olúkálùkù wa wà. Jíjẹ múmu wa kò ní lè mọ́ wa. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ń lé náà, we can only pray that things will become better before the total collapse of Nigeria. Mo kí yàrá Victoria Ogunade. Professor Banji Akitoye, mo ní ẹ lọ́mọ tó dúró dáadáa. Mo fi yín lọ́kàn balẹ̀ ní 2021. Ọkàn yẹn ẹ fi balẹ̀. I will educate Yoruba people. Wá gbọ́, it might take time. Dúpẹ́ deceive them, but some of them will come back to reality. Ìgbòho ṣá, mo ní ibi tó bá ń lọ ni mò ń lọ. Mo promise ẹ nìyẹn. Mo dúró tiẹ̀. Any day, anytime. Mo dúró tiẹ̀. Ọba Elédùmarè bá wà pẹ̀lú ẹ, ìyàwó àtàwọn ọmọ. Ọ̀túnba Adémọ́lá, Deputy YSDM. Ẹ fọkàn balẹ̀. Bọ̀ ẹ bá wa ṣètò ní kíákíá. A need kẹwàá máa bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ ní YSDM. Báwọn yẹn ṣe máa dáwó sínú account. I need owó tó pọ̀. Ọba Elédùmarè á ràn gbogbo wa lọ́wọ́ o. Bye for now. Thank you so much. Have a very good evening and enjoy the weekend. Bye for now.